goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
I don't even know. It's Friday and I don't even know. I'm here. You guys are like, oh, good. Annie's back to work. Well, you just wait. You have regrets. Around 12:25. Thanks for tuning in here to the Annie Fry Show. In my week of not feeling well, Monday after work, I started to develop a rapid sore throat. Hannah, you said the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that turned into a blazing, awful sore throat that I was dealing with Tuesday. It started to subside. By Wednesday, it had gone away. I was congested. But then Wednesday night, I developed a stomach ache. So I dealt with that pretty much all day Thursday. But I still came. What's happening? Who's doing that?
Don't worry about it. It's probably an ad.
We're working on something here.
Are we? So Thursday, I had an upset stomach all day. That's completely gone. And then I woke up this morning and my cold is back. What is wrong with me?
You sound worse today than you did yesterday.
I feel cold worse than I did yesterday, but I would way rather feel like this than the stomach ache.
Oh, yeah.
You know what you sound like? You sound like the person in the commercial who has the cold before the medicine.
Ooh, what's the medicine?
The medicine is Tamiflu or whatever.
Go get it.
Yeah, it's whatever. But
Yeah.
you sound like that person but they're not really sick in the commercial. They just sound like they're trying to be sick.
Sound like this?
That's what you sound like.
I'm not faking this.
Okay.
There is stuff going around right now. I know people from all different parts of my life that are sick. It's crazy.
Ryan is not feeling well. This morning he sneezed in the Mark Cox show, and how'd that go?
Oh, you weren't supposed to say that because I got away with it in the Mark Cox show. We didn't talk about it at all. But
Does the Mark Cox show know what happened? Or did you play that cool, like the Tamiflu lady?
Well, Kathleen and Carl saw it, but Mark didn't see it. So that's probably why it didn't make it to air. But there's a packet of alcoholic wipes to, sterilize everything in the studio. And there were no Kleenex in front of me. So I pulled one of those out and sneezed into it. And man, it helped not get germs anywhere.
Sure.
But
It's maybe the kindest thing you could have done.
Both of my nasal orifices. Pretty bad. Because I wiped with it too. I mean, not,
75% alcohol wipes. That's all it says on this package.
And Kathleen even goes, that's going to burn, right? And I'm like,
No.
Well, you told me afterwards and I'm feeling it now.
It's not on her.
Yeah, it is. She should have known.
Did you guys hear the president speaking this morning at all about his budget?
Nope.
No, but I knew this was coming.
Small.
So here's the deal. This is a little look into the process of how I get ready for the show every day. I read in the morning, I watch news in the morning, and just consume whatever's kind of thrown at me and try to put it all together. And then I show up and I just start talking at noon. And part of that is where I'm taking a shower and I have YouTube TV on my phone because I'm a YouTube TV subscriber. And I just put my phone on the top of the shower bar and I listen to Fox News while I'm taking a shower. And the problem with that is I can't really do much. I sometimes will. I can't really do much as far as, marking sound or whatever because I'm in the shower. And I turn the shower on. I'm in the shower. I get YouTube TV rolling. And there's Joe Biden talking about his budget. And he's whispering about Ronald Reagan.
Oh, no.
And he called him like an old wacky liberal. What is the whispering?
I don't know.
How? Okay, listen. We say, why isn't any... Oh, man, I'm
that's
telling
fine.
you what.
That's fine. We're pros.
There's nothing I can do about it. It's the computer I play sound off of. Could somebody send a ticket to Rob? Robert, he might be sitting out there listening, but we're supposed to send a ticket. Can you send a ticket about ancillary noises on the sound computer? So you say to yourself, like, why is nobody saying to President Biden, stop whispering. Don't do it. Do not whisper. And then you think back to stuff that Donald Trump would do, and people would say, why isn't anybody telling Donald Trump to knock this off? Donald Trump wasn't listening to them. He was doing what he wanted to do. That's just what Donald Trump does. I think Joe Biden is doing the same thing, but I also don't know that he remembers the advice.
Yes. Joe Biden is definitely not listening to the people around him, but not because he's not trying. He's really trying to listen to those people and can't remember it.
It's ridiculous.
You know they're telling him not to whisper. Because it is uncomfortable.
Ladies, isn't that the first thing as a wife that you're doing? Husbands, can't you hear your wife going, Knock it off with the whispering. What are you doing?
It all fades into the background. Probably at Joe's age, like he's been nagged at so much that everything that anybody says
shot at Jill, Dr. Jill.
Keep going, Brad.
Fades right in the background. It's just noise.
But that's why the wife needs to do what the wife needs to do. It needs to cut through the noise of all of the other people telling him what to do, and he needs to fear her.
Well, this one does. Because she's right in this instance.
Isn't there a moment, Ryan and Brad, I'm asking you this equally, but I'm going to Ryan first, not because I'm picking on him, but I'm interested in your answer. Isn't there a moment where your wife levels you with some truth that maybe you've heard other places, but when your wife says it in the way that your wife says it? And I feel like this is a blanket statement for wives, not specifically Mrs. Wiggins and Mr. Wiggins, where when your wife says, honey, and then they tell you the truth, and you go, oh, has that ever happened today?
Yes, it happened today.
Did it?
I mean, yes. I can't believe that you're saying that, and it happened this morning. I mean, we have about 10 minutes that we actually see each other in the morning, and it really happened this morning.
Can you tell us why?
We get seaweed as our vegetable that we put in our kids' lunches a lot. It's easy, it's packable, and I love it, and most of the kids do too.
This is like a gummy bear thing?
No, it's like it's a vegetable. Mm-hmm. It's what you wrap sushi in, but this is just like it's seasoned. There's sea salt on it. It tastes fantastic, and it's really good for you.
Wiggins is of Collinsville.
Yes,
it's very good for you, from what I understand.
We pack that in the kids' lunches so that they have a vegetable with lunch. We try to have at least a fruit or a vegetable in there every day.
Any chance they're just throwing it away?
Well, that's where we go next. Is that our littlest one, 5 years old, he had been eating it up until a few months ago. And now every time I pack it, it comes back home unopened. And I'm like, buddy, you have to eat a vegetable. And he's like, but I don't like that one. And I said, but you used to. Mm-hmm. And my wife steps in and goes, Ryan.
That's it.
I know. That thing.
There's the low level kind of calm and collective, insert name here, and a pause.
She says, Ryan, I understand that you are saying that he used to like it, but it has been months now that he won't eat it. I don't think he likes it. And I had to acknowledge, okay, but I was also arguing, hey, listen, kids change their minds real fast on stuff. We can't just allow them to say, I don't like this anymore.
Your wife is saying,
and she said, this isn't a new one. It's been happening for a while.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have anything to say. Yeah. It was that moment that you're talking about.
Brad, I don't know about you and your marriage, but are there ever moments where your wife will be like, Brad, and then just kind of usher the truth in?
Brad already knows all the truth. He's got it wrapped up. He's the one delivering the truth.
Listen,
in the Range household.
Annie, how if this were your household?
Which one?
Okay, so
the Range one.
If Jared
picture yourself in his kitchen.
If Jared tried to hit you with some truth in your household, how would that go over?
He would rarely take that opportunity, so I would say I would listen.
So that's how it is in my household. My wife is very non-confrontational. So she will let me make a fool out of myself.
Is that love? It can be.
Well, yeah.
What is love?
Then I'll explain it to her afterwards. I'm like, boy, I kind of made a fool out of myself later. And she's like, mm-hmm. And that's how that goes.
But that's kind of the same thing. If you're acknowledging it and she's confirming it. Because that's the point. No spouse, no significant other where you're truly in a loving relationship wants to see you make a fool out of yourself or be completely and totally out of relationship with reality. And as the spouse, as the significant other, it is your responsibility to be the one who loves that person enough to tell them the truth. It's the same thing for parents and their children. Sometimes you got to break down truth. It's going to hurt your kid, but they need to know. They need to understand this is the way that the world works. Maybe it's an instance where a kid is being mean to your kid and you got to say, listen, you're not going to be able to stop them from being mean. They're just going to keep being mean to you. My son has an instance right now where there's a kid who's perpetually picking on him. And it makes no sense whatsoever. And he's not upset about it. Like, I don't feel like I'm pretty in tune with my son. I can tell he's not questioning his self-worth over it, but he's kind of like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening? What is the deal? And I have to say to my son, listen, probably the best thing you can do is just ignore it. Like, and I'm the one who observed it and brought it to his attention. And he's like, yeah, this happens all the time. And it's just bizarre to me, but you have to be willing to sit down and have those hard truths. And as a parent, I'm always interested in what are they picking on you about? Because maybe you're doing something, frankly, that's annoying. And maybe you need to stop it. And I'm going to coach my kid to be a good friend and a good classmate and so on and so forth, so that they aren't putting themselves in that position. I'm not going to go out to the rest of the world and squash everybody who's ever said a cross word towards my kid, because but kid's not always going to be under my wing. So I want them to learn. You get to be the president of the United States. I think it would be, personally, infinitely easier to be the president than to be married to the president. I don't think that if I were watching the attacks that come in, well, my husband actually does kind of say this stuff. People will say some really awful, hateful things to me on a regular basis. And every once in a while, in a blue moon, my husband finds himself on Twitter and he'll see comments and he'll be like, Annie, what the heck is this? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I blocked that person or muted that person a long time ago. And it really bugs him. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, these are not serious people. Don't worry about that. But it still really gets under his skin. I appreciate that it gets under his skin. I also don't need him to be like vigilante going out and hunting down all the trolls, because he'd probably do that for me. Where is Jill Biden? And communicating to Joe, and if she's unable to stop him from the constant barrage of what are you doing, Joe? If she can't contain that, he shouldn't be there.
Honestly, she probably has tried as hard as she can.
I disagree.
And my guess is that he has said, yes, you're right, and still can't stop doing it.
People joke about him having dementia. People joke about his energy level and his shuffle and stuff. I mean, these are all things that are identifiable by anybody who's watching him. The video of Chuck Schumer with President Biden's arm in, that is the way that I ushered my grandmother, who was 95 before she died. We'd be at a school event and she'd hold on to my arm just so she wouldn't trip and fall like Mitch McConnell. That is something that everybody sees. Everybody's lent an arm. Everybody understands that. And actually, the thing about that might be the most shocking to me is Chuck Schumer is going to know what that visual looks like, and he still felt it necessary to provide that arm. Good on him for doing that, on a human-to-human level to help the president out, but...
Yeah, he knew the optics and still apparently was necessary to walk the president up to the podium like that.
I wish I would have had something really cool to whisper right there. That would have been...
Don't do it, Joe.
Jill?
Run to the helicopter next time, Joe.
Man.
Show us how fit you are.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, more Annie Frey Show. We're going to try to get through a lot of issues here, talk about the things that maybe were discussed when I was out, and plow through these issues that are faced. This is a pretty big news story, news week, but a lot of little stories piling up to make a lot of big stories, and we're going to cover them all when we come back. If you want to join us on the YouTube channel, get a flood of people there and go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Which show member is the best athlete? Anybody in here have strong opinions about this?
I have several strong opinions.
I've got 8 or 9 strong opinions.
I'm just here to watch, grabbing the popcorn. Which show member is the best athlete? Hannah, Brad, Ryan, or Annie? Go vote on the YouTube live chat poll, the Annie Frey YouTube channel. I'll give you a subscriber update. We're doing pretty well here. We're kind of plugging along. All that on the Annie Frey Show when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
So Jen Teskey with RE/MAX Alliance, 618-541-1010. That's 618-541-1010. You can call her, you can text her. When you are purchasing a home on the Illinois side of the river, you need Jen. Pretty basic. You get a whole team, a whole staff behind your purchase when you sign up to work with Jen Teskey. She has this dedicated team of professionals. You're going to feel like family when you go through this process. They're going to give you the truth that you need to help you succeed. And they are fantastic at the job. They're going to make it an enjoyable experience for you. I want to talk about something else that Jen is certified in. She has a certification in divorce real estate. She is specifically trained to assist attorneys and divorce clients navigate the challenges of selling a home during a divorce. This is a complicated situation that I hope you don't have to go through or that your loved one isn't going through. But when that time comes and the house is in the middle of this disagreement, you need somebody who knows how to handle these situations. Regardless of whatever the situation is, Jen understands her role in helping clients buy and sell one of their largest financial instruments. Her number one goal is to help her buying clients transition into their new community and or sell their residence with ease. Jen Teskey with RE/MAX Alliance, the best there is. Not many people acquire that certification because it's a difficult one to do. She's been entrusted with it. You can trust her as well. 618-541-1010. That's 618-541-1010.
One day, former pro football offensive tackle Mitch Schwartz just happened to walk into Diamonds Direct with his wife, Brooke.
The store blew us away. We both got back to the car after. We were like, oh my gosh, we didn't realize that this awesome store was right in the middle of Overland Park. And it was a huge selection.
Today, Mitch and Brooke are frequent shoppers at Diamonds Direct.
Oh, Brooke is very happy about her jewelry. Every few months, we make our way to Diamonds Direct, and there's another 3 or 4 pieces that catch her eyes.
What they love is there's never any sales pressure at Diamonds Direct. In fact, they often end up spending less than they expected.
We want to make sure everything's tasteful, everything's done right, and that's another advantage of Diamonds Direct is they're not just going to sell you the largest thing, the most expensive thing that you'll buy. They'll find what fits your finger the best.
Are you shopping for that engagement ring or that romantic piece of jewelry for the one you love? Wander into Diamonds Direct, like Mitch did, and you'll be blown away as well.
Diamonds Direct is great, and it's just a great place to shop.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get directions, store hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Mark Kotz here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, March 21st at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online to retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and sick of losing so much money in your retirement accounts? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your 401k tax-free and protect your nest egg from any more losses and still generate more income than most investment options? Would you like to know how linking to the market instead of owning the market is so much safer for your retirement nest egg? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, March 21st at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
With the Wholesale Formula Seminar, discover how to start your own Amazon business.
Hey, I'm Rick Manello. 2 years after attending the Wholesale Formula Seminar, I was able to sell my Amazon business for over $400,000.
Hi, I'm Amy Sherlock. I attended the Wholesale Formula Seminar to learn how to work from home while raising my son. Today, I do $175,000 in sales per month.
Hi, Ian Bauer. My first year averaged $45,000 a month in sales. Now I'm at $90,000 a month and hardly working.
Whether you have a business and want to sell more on Amazon, retired, or just need extra money, America's Amazon expert Dylan Frost will show you how. Only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. That's right. Discover the easy way to make money on Amazon with Dylan Frost's The Wholesale Formula 2-hour seminar Tuesday, March 28th at 2 p.m. for the greater St. Louis area. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
This afternoon we'll be in Eureka for the Mark Reardon Show Fish Fry Fridays.
Join us for great food and a live broadcast at Most Sacred Heart Catholic Church.
Fish Fry Fridays continue this week from 3 to 6 in Eureka on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
Look, I think we've got a good jobs report. I'm happy to report that our economy has created over 300,000 new jobs last month, and that's on top of 500,000 jobs we added the month before. All told, we've created more than 12,000 jobs since I took office, nearly 8,000 of them manufacturing jobs. That means overall, we've created more jobs in 2 years than any administration has created in the first 4 years. And I think all this matters. It's no accident. It means our economic plan is working.
So there's President Biden talking about the jobs growth. There's a good February number that was posted. Here's a CNBC response to...
If you look at average hourly earnings month to month, 0.2%. Now, if you look at average hourly earnings at 0.2, that is the smallest month-over-month change since February when it was unchanged.
So if it's a teeny tiny growth in wages, but inflation continues to be exponentially high, I don't know that that puts Americans in a good spot.
It doesn't. I mean, anytime that wages outpace or inflation outpaces wages, that means that you have less money to buy stuff with. Getting inflation under control is of the utmost importance. And here's the thing that worries me. The only way you can get inflation under control is by slowing down people buying stuff. And then when you start slowing down people buying stuff, that means that manufacturing slows down. When manufacturing slows down, that means there's less jobs for people to have. So right now, the jobs report is really good. But once people's stop purchasing, which is what the goal of the Fed increasing rates is to do, is to stop them purchasing. Once people stop purchasing, those job reports numbers are going to get worse.
Yeah, the U.S. unemployment rate also rose to 3.6% in February. And on top of that, the Fed is going to probably hike rates again. And so there's a perfect storm of things that I'm not smart enough to put all together. I just know what my lived experience is. And it is difficult to make ends meet now in a way that it wasn't 2, 3, 4 years ago. Especially, I mean, you got to put in the midst of that the amount of money that was pumped into the economy, printed under Trump as well. He doesn't have hands off this thing. He was more tied to the actual moment of the pandemic than the Democrats who had control and continued to print this money. But there certainly is a question about how long this is sustainable. One of the things that Joe Biden said when he spoke this morning, and he was talking about reacting to his budget and the jobs numbers, was he said, and I love it when he leads with, oh, this was just handed to me. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it. And then he says, but, and I'm like, ooh, please say more. But he said that he was handed something basically on the way to the podium. The Freedom Caucus has said, we will agree to your debt ceiling, raising the debt ceiling, if you agree to a 25% cut in the budget, save the military. And I thought, hey, they're actually trying to cut spending. I'm happy to see that. If the Freedom Caucus is offering 25%, do they hope to get 6%? Maybe that would be a huge win still. But knowing that the Freedom Caucus is out there advocating for a decrease in spending, I'm happy about that. But all of these things ultimately are going to end up, to me, in more perilous economic times before anything can get better.
Yeah, and I don't mean to... I'm glad when I see a good jobs report. The problem is, at the end of last year, you may remember this, I did a Wiggins America about this, that in the second quarter, I believe, I'm doing this from memory.
I remember all the Wiggins Americas.
So you'll remember this verbatim then.
I try to black them out.
You'll let me know if I get something wrong, a word.
They haunt me.
Don't they all? They haunt everyone, in fact. But this one haunted me the worst because I'm still talking about it. In the second quarter of 2022, they had estimated at the time, as the monthly jobs came out, that they had gained over the second quarter total around 1.01 million jobs, so 1,010,000 jobs in a quarter. They went back at the end of the year and revised those once they had the real data, minus 1 million.
Yeah.
They
off.
ended up throughout the whole quarter only adding 10,000 jobs when they thought it was 1 million and 10,000 jobs. So forgive me for being a little bit skeptical of even knowing what that means right now. And I forever will have a tough time believing the monthly jobs reports when you see something like that. But it's all about generating headlines because later they can come back and say, oh, well, we didn't know at the
Nobody
time.
Nobody ever covers
the correction.
No, for sure. And I did. Things will get better for whatever, and there will be things that get better right before an election happens, before a primary election happens, before the election happens. And there's always a spin. Republicans do it too. It's, there's no delusion here that this isn't what politics is. My question is just, what are you experiencing in real life? There are a lot of things right now that we're being told to think or being scared out of saying, and it becomes difficult to have an honest conversation because you're worried that if you actually speak your thoughts on any particular issue, you're going to be painted into a corner, you're going to be labeled something, you're going to be canceled, whatever. One of these issues for me, and I've been struggling with the right way to do this, the respectful way to do this. I think it matters how you talk about a specific issue. One of those things is the emergence of transgender women showing up in places where they're being awarded, receiving accolades and opportunities that are taking the place of biological women. That is a difficult thing to talk about because when I'm criticizing Jill Biden and Secretary of State Blinken for awarding a transgender Argentinian woman for her courageousness in essentially being transgender, it's not about her, the transgender woman, that I'm mad about. If she wants to identify about that way, I'm not here to spend my time on the air or my breath in life trying to criticize her, to belittle her, to run her down. But I am raising 3 daughters. And I'm not going to sit here and watch the work that my oldest daughter, who's 10 whole years old, work her butt off to play sports on a team of about a dozen girls who are working their butts off to compete in sports. And they have all different skills. They have all different talent levels. They all have heart. They all want to participate. I don't want to watch, as a former female athlete myself, I don't want to watch them lose those opportunities because of a scenario where there is an individual who is born male who wants to transition into being female. That is an instance that, while I could have my thoughts and opinions on it, they're mine to have and not mine to impose on how another person lives their life. But when you start infiltrating and taking away opportunities for girls, and like my whole life, feminism has been about creating an equal playing field. My whole life. My grandmother's generation fought for the right to vote. My mother's generation fought for the right to be treated equal in the workplace. My generation is fighting for the right to be biologically relevant. What is my daughter going to have to fight for? Because the fact of the matter is true, and it's so ironic to me that feminism, the arc of feminism, where it began and where I feel like feminism needs to rise up again, is to illustrate that women are not physically equal to men. Women are not physically built like men. And humans who are born with a male genetic who choose to transition to present as female, everything about that exists is a them thing. And I don't hate a single person who sees their identity that way. It's not mine to change. But if you're going to start to infiltrate and put your finger on the scale against girls who have the equal opportunity now to compete in sports with their peers, I have to say something about that. And it's hard for me, as somebody who wants to communicate that message in a non-combative way, in a non-hateful way, because I don't hate these people, but in a way that defends the people who I believe truly need defending here. In the climate that we're in, it's a difficult thing to talk about. And the more difficult it is to talk about, the more I think I should talk about it. The more I think I should speak up on the issue. It's very frustrating to me to watch somebody, specifically these transgender women competing in women's sports, like Leah Thomas, and to know that when Leah Thomas was what I understand to be William Thomas, William competed in male swimming and couldn't make the cut. And he dominates in women's sports. She dominates in women's sports. How do people watch that and not say, this just isn't right? I don't know what the solution is. I don't want to isolate these people and make it so they don't have a place somewhere. I'm not telling them where they have to go, but you can't stay here. It's not right. And somebody has to be willing to come out and say that. And you have to be able to say it. And I'm going to say it. And you can hitch your wagon to my message here or not. I'm going to say it in the most loving way that I can. It's not about hate. But I got 3 girls to defend. And I'll be darned if I'm not going to do it. How am I supposed to, as a mother, watch this happen? As somebody who is an athlete, former athlete myself, how am I supposed to sit here and not say anything about this? It's a struggle. Because there are people who are not going to want to hear what I'm saying. They're going to put into place the words that I'm saying here with a message that tries to keep me from speaking up on this issue. And I just don't. That's really never been my MO. So, I don't know. Does anybody want to say anything before we go to a break?
I mean, I sit here and I think about this, and I know there's like debate and argument about how, with hormone treatment and whatnot, then the playing field can be kind of even. And I just don't believe that's true, because if that were true, then the opposite would be true.
Leah Thomas's wingspan is not going to get smaller when she takes hormones.
Well, and to that point, if you took a female to male
transgender
man, if you took one of them and you gave them testosterone and all the hormones, you still don't see
their wingspan's not going to get bigger.
No, it doesn't get bigger, and you don't see them competing in male sports.
No, and I'll tell you what, this basketball season that my son was playing in was a very successful basketball season, but as the course of the season went on, we lost some kids along the way. And when we competed in the Peoria basketball tournament, they only had one sub that went up to this tournament, and it was a 6-year-old felt like it, 6th grader, younger brother of one of the 8th graders, and he was great. He went in and he competed. You know who the 7th sub on this team was? It was my daughter, Jensen. And when I watched a 10-year-old girl to 14-year-old boy, massive difference in development there. And the idea of her being on the bench was essentially, if we got into a scenario where we couldn't start a game because we only had 4 players, she could start the game and then we'd pretty much take her out. Now, she's a good basketball player. She's a really good 10-year-old girl basketball player. But I would not ever throw her in the midst of all of these young men, because she would be so incredibly overmatched, not just because of age, but because of the physicality of what she'd be put into. If she were to go in and play against 5th grade boys, she'd be able to hang, but she'd have to really, really turn up the dial on how physical she was willing to be and willing to receive. That's common sense. And I think the scariest thing in the entire situation here is that what is common sense to probably 9 out of 10 people. 8 out of 10 people are afraid to even speak. I think if you have this conversation with a couple people over a beer or, sitting on the sideline of a Little League game or at some sort of family gathering, everybody can agree, you don't hate anybody. But we got to do what's right here. And we got to consider all parties involved. We have to stop asking everybody to kowtow to make sure that a super minority of people get to do whatever they want. Let's take a quick break. Wiggins America on the Annie Fry Show. We come back.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Air Comfort Service, online at aircomfortservice.com. As we transition in March from the cold air outside, we are going to need the cold air inside. Your comfort zone is a call away, 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Air Comfort Service has serviced our house multiple times for multiple reasons. And one of the things that they have done to our house that has had such a lasting effect, it's not the air conditioner or the furnace that they put in, although that has been amazing. It's the AeroSeal duct sealing. So we had that done, I think, before we had the new furnace and air conditioner put in. And we're pumping all of this air throughout the course of our house. And we have a reasonable size house. The bedrooms are on the second level. The amount of air conditioning and heating that we would have to run to make sure that the second floor was the correct temperature was kind of obnoxious. You go to the basement and the temperature was completely opposite. That AeroSeal duct sealing that you can get done at Air Comfort Service with Air Comfort Service makes it so that the ductwork is sealed and the air goes to the vents where it's supposed to escape and it doesn't leak out through the ventilation throughout your entire house. Reach out to Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. Where do you go for your annual eye health examination? Ophthalmology Associates, of course. Doctors Greg Birdie and Ranjan Malhotra. Dr. Robert Bersati, he's the one I saw, or Dr. Andrew Royer. They are available to you and are there to take care of all your vision needs at Ophthalmology Associates. They're on Manchester Road, a half mile west of 270. Your vision is their business at Ophthalmology Associates. In fact, many of their patients are doctors themselves. That's why they call themselves the doctors, Ophthalmology Associates. Are your eyes itchy and scratchy? It could be more than just allergies. They're the leaders in dry eye diagnosis and treatment. They're the leaders in LASIK and discussing those procedures. And if you're having difficulty reading or driving at night, you have glare from oncoming headlights, could be early signs of cataracts, and they can talk to you about multifocal lens implants. Ophthalmology Associates, youridoc.com.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, Maria in Miami, and Jules in Troy, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with high-quality supplies for every industry, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town and Country, Missouri, 63017. CordellCordell.com.
Annie Fry here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friend Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you strategies on how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Annie Fry Show.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children that they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Warmer days are coming. Time to schedule your annual AC system check for as little as $15 a month. For any residential or commercial HVAC services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The voice for hardworking, free-thinking Americans.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk.
Yeah. You are my fire, the one desire. Believe when I say I want it that way.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Our two worlds apart.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Man, if you were 14 in 1998,
oh man,
I'm just saying, because I was.
And I think it was different for you as a girl than it was for me as a guy.
I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Well, what was it like for you then?
As a guy,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I
maybe we should
hated this song.
What are we talking
but it
about?
was everywhere. It was everywhere.
You know what? Backstreet's Back All Right. That's not a terrible song.
I love
Not
that
now,
song.
but I mean, when I was 14, it's like I hated them
Oh,
on
no,
principle.
no, you couldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole back then.
Yeah.
Not if you're a boy.
If this song comes on, a boy. If this song comes on in your car, you're listening to it.
No.
And you're singing.
And you're
to it.
singing. Yes,
Yes,
you
you
are.
are.
I don't know. I don't know.
With these kind of emotions.
Fake, but yeah,
Passion.
absolutely. Fake passion.
Ryan requested this song. That's why it's in his segment.
Look, the only reason I would ever do that, which is not true, by the way, is because I've met AJ, and that's not a big deal. But yes, I do have a personal relationship with AJ in some small way.
I see you singing into your hairbrush like that, Annie.
Just not really a hairbrush singer, just a singer. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I could still do it. Probably try to on the way home today, but I know which boy sings
Which part?
each line.
Do you really?
Oh, gosh. I was a part of a group of girls that were all in on the Backstreet Boys. And the group of girls that I hung out with, gosh, let me see here.
You guys were nerds.
Katie was a Brian, and Mackenzie was Kevin, and who was Colby big fan of? I don't know. I always thought Brian Luttrell was pretty cute, but he was taken by Katie.
Oh. Which one's the bad boy?
AJ.
That's what I thought.
You should know that. He's the one you know.
Well, we don't talk professionally.
Would you date?
No, we just talk personally. We just hang out. He's just a dude.
You just talked personally?
Yeah.
That's
We
what
don't
guys
talk-
do.
Dude, just two guys.
We don't
sitting
we
having
don't
a conversation.
talk shop. You know, we're just talking about life. We're just doing life together.
Gosh.
Well done.
Anyways,
Well done, Hannah.
There's nowhere else to go from here.
Which one were you? You didn't tell us which Backstreet Boy
I just
was
said
yours.
that I was a fan of Brian, but Brian was taken by Katie.
But didn't all of you have one of them, so you had to take somebody else?
who'd you
That's
get
not really
stuck
how I
with?
roll. I don't go for
You don't go
scraps.
for sloppy seconds?
No.
Scraps.
I just looked over in NSYNC, see what they had to offer. Nah.
You didn't get a hollow Backstreet Boy?
No. I was just kind of along for the ride. Really liked the music.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, we've been talking a lot
Wiggins
lately.
America
I
about-
thought, it's a Friday. Let's do a little bit
Annie's
of good news.
Favorite Backstreet Boy.
Remarkably, it's about which NSYNC member are you? That was the test we were going to take, but I'll switch it. We've been doing a lot of negative news because there is a lot of negative news if you live in St. Louis. We're hoping that there's a turnaround with a lot of these things, but we're waiting. In the meantime, since we were talking about inflation in the last segment, it makes sense to talk about inflation personally because right here in St. Louis, it just so happens that according to the MIT Living Wage Calculator, St. Louis is the most affordable major market city to live in in the United States.
Is that because it sucks so much?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to tell you why.
There's a lot of places that you could really afford to put some roots down in.
Yeah, and this is number one. All of the major cities, I'll tell you the worst ones is San Francisco, San Diego, Boston, New York are the top 4 that it takes. And here's the criteria, okay?
I don't want to live there anyway.
Yeah, if you're a single person, now they're just using one individual, how much do you as one individual, no kids, need to make, which is the fairest way to do it, because if you add all those other criteria, it muddies things up. So
responsibilities that drag you down.
I'm not saying that. Just saying for the data.
The anchors.
Just for the data. San Francisco, it takes $84,000 for you to, according to them, live just a normal, moderate
Great place
life.
to have a radio
That seems
career.
optimistic.
I thought the same thing. I thought that seemed low. Or for San Francisco, because it is an expensive
Imagine having
city.
to make $84,000 to live in San Francisco.
And just moderately.
To
Just to
suffice.
kind of get by yourself. That's without a family or anything. Now, we just so happen to be still one of the only cities that's below $60,000. St. Louis, Missouri requires the smallest post-tax salary at $57,000 per individual to live a comfortable, moderate lifestyle. And that is the lowest of any big city in the United States. Well, which is cool. It's actually only one of 3, like I said, that is less than 60. Here's a really weird tidbit, though. We talked about inflation. Last year, the average across the country, now we're still beating the average, which is great. But last year, the average across the country, no matter where you were, was about 57,000, which is roughly where we are now. This year, the average across the whole country, though, is up by over $10,000.
Because everything costs so much.
Because everything has gone up in price so much that this MIT living wage calculator now says that an average person in the United States, single person, nobody else living with them, needs $68,000 a year to just live a moderate, comfortable lifestyle alone. So the good news is we're still, and probably always will, at least for the foreseeable future, be beating that at $57,000. So we're going to be below the national average. But man,
St. Louis is an amazing place to live. And that's the thing that's so frustrating and heart-wrenching for people who, you're listening right now on your radios or streaming us on the Odyssey app. And when you hear people talk about St. Louis, it's kind of one of those things. It's like if somebody's going to come insult your mom, you're going to fight them to the death. But if your mom is driving you crazy, you can say something to a loved one. But if they say something back, you're going to punch them in the face. That St. Louis feels like that to me because I love living here. I am so proud. Listen, folks, I'm proud to live in Illinois. And I hear it. I get it every time I have an Illinois guest on the show or talk about the dumpster fire that is the state of Illinois politically. Outside of that, this is such an amazing place to live, to raise a family, to exist. The city of St. Louis is beautiful. It's just not being taken care of. And that's the thing that's so frustrating is that there are people who don't value the city the way you and I value the city or for the same reason. So they care for the city in different ways than maybe you and I feel like it should be cared for. And so you sit there by the wayside and you harumph about the whole situation. And then people put out, we made another top list, the most murdery place in the United States. Now it's the most affordable, but I certainly could make the case that that's not a compliment to the city.
No, you can make that case. But I mean, a lot of it is just being in the Midwest. So it's not necessarily the political climate of the city. It's being where we are. We have very low gas prices here. Part of that is pipelines go right through here. A lot of things that aren't necessarily political to the city of St. Louis are what cause an overall better quality of life as far as money spent here.
Yeah, property values and stuff like that.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, when my wife moved here from Chicago for the first time in 2007 or whatever it was, she said, it's amazing. She grew up in Chicago. She said, it's amazing. You can, where you're at in the suburbs, 15 minutes, you can go downtown and be in the middle of a city where there's lots of, at that time especially, a lot of activity. Or you can go 15 minutes in the other direction and be on a farm. She said, I've never been like this before.
It's amazing. And it deserves to be fought for. It deserves to be protected. I say the same thing about the state of Illinois. And I'm not giving up yet. Let's listen to some Backstreet Boys. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Don Chamberlain, best-selling author from right here in the St. Louis area, and I want to tell you about a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It can potentially give you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your principal is never at risk from market declines. Even people who are currently on track have shifted money to this strategy because it could increase their retirement income or may allow them to stop working years sooner than they expected. So if you're over 50 and want to learn how you could potentially get bigger retirement with less money, call and get the free copy of this brand new movie. That's a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free. Plus, I'll include a copy of my new book, Crash Proof Wealth. I'll even cover the shipping and handling, no credit card required. 1-800-807-3838. That's 800-807-3838. 1-800-807-3838.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
How do you make every day more rewarding? You could write about your feelings. You could do sea turtle stuff. You could practice mindfulness. But how? Or you could just do what you already do with Upside, the free app that gives you real cash back wherever you roll. Like that restaurant that has those curly fries you love, or grocery stores that have the freshest sushi, and gas stations placed perfectly on the route of your next road trip. Sometimes it's the little things. Get Upside and get cash back for doing you. Download the free Upside app and use promo code SUSHI for an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's promo code SUSHI for an extra $10 on the free Upside app. Get cash back for doing you with the free app from Upside.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A deepening sell-off on Wall Street. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Dow's now down more than 400 points as a bank serving the tech industry is taken over by regulators.
Silicon Valley Bank has collapsed. It's the second biggest bank failure in U.S. history. However, California regulators took over the bank, and the FDIC says insured depositors will have access to their money by Monday morning. The bank collapsed quickly after it revealed a big loss on its bond holdings. That prompted widespread customer withdrawals.
Fox's Jenny Cosola, SVPB catered to startup businesses and the investors funding them. The markets were already nervous about the Fed's next move to fight inflation after another jobs report topping expectations. 311,000 jobs created in February.
I feel confident that we're headed in the right direction.
President Biden says his plan is working even if inflation ticks up again in a report due out next week. Republicans say the tax hikes and spending in his new budget plan would hurt the economy. This doesn't happen very often in the U.S. House.
On this vote, the yeas are 419 and the nays are 0.
That unanimous vote on a bill calling to declassify documents about the origins of COVID, including potential links to the Wuhan lab in China.
By declassifying, we will be able to seek clarity
give transparency, and gain security, which is what the American people deserve.
California Republican Congressman Mike Garcia, government agencies disagree on whether the pandemic was most likely started by natural transmission or a lab leak. The Senate had already approved the bill, which is heading to the president's desk. Mexican officials now have 5 people detained in connection with the kidnapping of 4 Americans and the killing of 2 of them, believed to be cartel related. America is listening to Fox News.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number?
Not me.
Nope. Nuh-uh. Oh no. He's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Keeping it windy, keeping it chilly this afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, 49 down to 32 tonight. Lots of clouds. Saturday, cloudy skies. Rain developing quickly Saturday afternoon. Windy and a cold 45. A cold rain, 38 on Saturday night, all night long. Sunday, a couple of showers first thing in the morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and dry. 45 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
SLU is marching through the conference tournament, and we've got Saturday's game here. It's SLU men's basketball, their next A10 game after Thursday night's win. Saturday at 11:46, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
If you need a new fence or deck, experience matters. At Chesterfield Fence and Deck, they've been at it since 1968. Mark Cox here. If you want the sign you have the very best, go to Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Visit their extensive showroom there in Chesterfield. They'll give you free in-home estimates, no obligation, even free project design. Their fences are made in the USA. They're wood, vinyl, or aluminum, even steel and chain link, and their decks are beautiful, natural cedar. Plus, they have that Vecadec vinyl decking, which is the strongest in the industry, with no maintenance. They also do custom sunrooms and screen rooms and pergolas. You'll want to find out more about Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Go online today to chesterfieldfence.com. Mention Mark Cox, and you'll get a special discount for the month of February and March. chesterfieldfence.com, or call them today at 636-532-4054.
Stewart's American Mortgage, the bagel loan, that's where you get it. You can't go to another place and get a bagel loan. It's only with Stewie. At Stewart's American Mortgage, I'm a 2-time customer myself of doing a refinance with the bagel loan. I stand by it as a customer. When you choose to work with Stewie, you're making a very smart financial decision. And I say you can reach out to him by calling him or texting him, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. And when you are working with him, he's always going to give you the best scenario for you. It's an old-fashioned way of doing business, kind of a novel idea these days, just good personal attention to detail to your circumstances. Now, the bagel loan is fantastic because when you do a first mortgage, when you get your mortgage, or if you're doing a refinance with the bagel loan, you don't pay any fees that other lenders out there are going to charge you for. That means no closing costs. It's going to save you thousands of dollars. Reach out to Stewie today and get the conversation started. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan and MLS number 226715.
Start your Amazon business.
Hi, I'm Amy Sherlock. I attended the Wholesale Formula seminar, and I'm now doing $175,000 in sales per month.
In 2020, Americans made $50 billion selling on Amazon. Join America's Amazon expert, Dylan Frost, where everyone can learn how to start an Amazon business for only $49.99 guaranteed, or your money back. 2-hour seminar Tuesday, March 28th at 2 p.m. for the greater St. Louis area. Register at wholesaleformula.com. That's wholesaleformula.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Underlaw, we take on the establishment and challenge corporations to be better for the safety of our community.
Call Underlaw Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 618 $9
If you need to sell your home to buy a new home, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty on your side, fighting for every dollar for you. Check out thegelmanteam.com. That's thegelmanteam.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Friday. Love being able to say that to you. Today's YouTube live chat poll. You can join us and watch and join in the conversation on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Today's poll, we always kind of pick one that has to do with the show members here to get your guys' thoughts and opinions. They always make us laugh. Which show member is the best athlete? Hannah, Brad, Ryan, or Annie? Go vote in the poll and tell us why you voted the way you did. I'm going to skip ahead here and go straight to this question because in about 20 minutes, we're going to start an Ask Me Anything segment. And Hannah is watching for you to leave your questions for the crew. They can be anything. They can be serious. They can be silly. They can just be inquisitive, whatever. You can ask us anything in the live chat on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. And Hannah picks them, and we get to as many as we can. Kevin says on YouTube, he says, question, which I think you meant question. This is kind of funny. Question. What do you think of media personalities that gush over a candidate on the air but privately loathe them and think they are dangerous? That is a veiled way of talking about Tucker Carlson and the comments that he has made in text messages that have been discovered during the Dominion lawsuit about how much Tucker Carlson detests Donald Trump. Tucker Carlson said in a message that he was days away. These were being exchanged over the course of the January 6th event. Now, there have been more January 6th since then, but we're specifically referring to a date on a calendar. January 6th, capital J, capital 6, 2021, the date that will live in infamy for Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger. While this was going on, they have been able to uncover some of the communications that were taking place behind the scenes, and Tucker Carlson did he didn't say loathes, did he?
I don't remember the
said
verbiage.
He hates Donald Trump, like with a boiling passion or something that did not leave much to be filled in.
Like he can't wait for it to be over.
Yeah, there were multiple messages. One of them was, we are mere days away from not being able to have to talk about Trump every night, and that he couldn't wait for that to be the case. But he also said something to the effect of, as Kevin is roundabout pointing out, I mean, he's talking about any personality.
Yeah, it's
really.
not just
It could be, but since this is a recent example, we'll just throw Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump out there. Has Tucker Carlson ever, I mean, stop and think about this. And I would question how much maybe Kevin watches Tucker Carlson. Because, listen, I watch The View through clips that somehow or another I am unable to avoid. So if somebody were to say a generalization about The View that I would agree with, there certainly is the possibility that exists that there is context that I have not seen because I do not watch The View. A lot of people watch Tucker Carlson. I mean, that is a fact. Based on the ratings, he's tripling what other people are getting in that time slot. Actually, what other people are getting in any time slot.
Yeah, period.
I have never, ever thought that Tucker Carlson was a sycophant for Donald Trump. Ever. I actually feel like I have no idea who Tucker Carlson wants to be the person to run the country. The number one consistent thing that I get from watching Tucker, and I watch Tucker many nights. I don't watch him every night because I have a life. But if I have time to DVR it or to whatever, I watch Tucker because I want to know what he's talking about. And sometimes I tune in to watch him because there's a huge issue that I want to hear him talk about, and he doesn't cover it. He covers something else. And I may or may not be interested in it, and that keeps my interest or loses my interest, and I make those decisions on a case-by-case basis. Here's the question, the follow-up to Kevin's question. Because I think that the question that Kevin's asking is the question that everybody on the left is hyperventilating over asking, thinking that you're going to... And I'm not saying this specifically to Kevin, because Kevin is a great listener of our show, opposite side of the aisle on a lot of things, but I appreciate that he's there, and I respect that he is asking the question because a lot of people are. I in no way, shape, or form feel backed into the corner because Tucker Carlson's texts about loathing Donald Trump are out in the open. In fact, there are many people who loathe Donald Trump that can't wait to vote for him again. Just because you hate that man or dislike him, or disagree with some things that he's done in his life, does not in any way, shape, or form correlate to not wanting to support him to be the president again. Just as though there are many, many people who think that Joe Biden is unfit for office, who will run to the ballot box to vote for him again so that a Republican doesn't win. This idea that's out there that these communications between Laura Ingraham and people, Tucker and people, Sean Hannity and people, that they disagreed with what Donald Trump was doing at the time. They're taking those communications, they're comparing to the things that were being said at the time. And there were a lot of people who had a lot of questions. There are a lot of people who still have a lot of questions about what took place in the 2020 election. Those questions have never, ever been able to be answered because January 6th happened. The idea of discussions about what took place during the election of 2020, even if the fruit of all of those conversations that would actually take place if we were able to rationally have them would prove that there wasn't an ounce of anything bad in the November 2020 elections. We've never even gotten there to make the people who say it was a perfect election. The people who would say that have never even had to make that case because we're never, ever getting that far because there's this big albatross of January 6th in the way that makes you even, like they can sense if you even want to raise a little bit of an eyebrow about what took place on January 6th and ultimately what took place in November of 2020. This wall, so to speak, that they've built between where we are now and the discussion that if you listen to them should be easily provable that everything that took place in the November 2020 election was 100% on the up and up. And there is nothing to be questioned about it. Let's have the discussion and then prove anybody who wants to challenge it wrong. But we never get there because January 6th is in the way. And if you even flinch in the direction of suggesting that maybe January 6th wasn't what everybody on the left says it is, and even more so that maybe November 2020 isn't everything that the left says it was, if you have that conversation, that doesn't mean that you're going to talk it out and realize that it's everything that the right says it was, or everything that Donald Trump says it was. What Tucker does is he lives in the middle, the gray area of the conversation, not the political spectrum. He's about as conservative as it gets. He lives in the nuance of the conversation, and he's the only one who will go out there and say, screw it all, I'm going to talk about this. And it's going to make people on the left mad. It's going to make people on the right mad. But I'm here, and I'm going to talk about it because there are a lot of people who want to listen. How do you know? Look at his ratings. I have not seen, and I'll stand corrected if somebody can prove this to me, I have not seen instances where specifically Tucker and Laura have gone on Fox News and said things that are in direct confrontation with their feelings about Donald Trump. There's what happened, and your feelings about what was happening, what occurred leading up to the January 6th situation, how Donald Trump handled that speech that day, I've criticized it. I like that he wanted to continue leading because he was still the president, but I did not like the way he presented himself on January 6th. And I remember watching it going, wow, this isn't the way. The suggestion that what's been revealed, big reveal, big secrets, Fox News is saying one thing in their private communications, and on the air they're lying to everybody for ratings. There are things that can be true at the same time, and you can detest what Donald Trump did or how he steps on his own toes from time to time. Who among us can't look at Donald Trump and say he didn't make it harder than it needed to be from time to time? I mean, come on. You can believe that and still think he did a fantastic job and will do another fantastic job when he becomes the president again.
When these texts started coming out, I think I was a little surprised by how much they disliked him, because I already got the sense that they didn't like him. So I think I was just, oh yeah, they really didn't like him. And I would implore anybody, and that's the problem is with the language that they're using. And I actually will call Kevin out here. He says, well, they publicly gush over him. Well, if that exists, that would be everywhere right now. People would be, oh, look, here's Tucker saying how much he loves the guy, and here's his text, and you'd see them side by side. That doesn't really exist. If anything, I would think that these texts, which I'm sure they didn't want to be public, actually speak a little bit to their journalistic integrity, that if they hated him that bad, that they were still covering him somewhat fairly, that's saying something. Because you know that the people at CNN and these other networks, they also hated him that bad, maybe worse, and they took a stick to him every night. They weren't covering him fairly. So the fact that they could put their personal feelings aside if they actually hated him that bad and cover policy, which is what you're saying, Annie, a lot of people, that maybe them included, actually did, and the opinion hosts in particular, like the policies, but they didn't like what he was doing. Being able to separate those things matters.
It's integrity.
You'd hope.
It's the exact opposite of what they're accusing. They're saying, well, he personally doesn't like him, but he went on the air and defended what he was doing. Well, if they liked what he was doing but don't like the person who's doing it, for example, if you have an athlete that you really dislike that person's personality, you can still like when that person goes up to bat and hits a home run for your team.
Yes.
You can dislike that person and be happy that he hit a home run because that helps your team in the end. Whenever you are able to put your personal feelings aside and report the facts as they are, as you see them, as they are, as fairly as you can, if you're not going all in on, well, I hate him, so I'm going to look at every angle from a negative light, you're actually showing journalistic integrity, and it's the opposite of what he's being accused of.
I feel the knee-jerk reaction for people. I mean, the left is lapping up the Dominion lawsuit. And I understand why they're lapping it up, because there are not a lot of things right now in the winds of change, the political winds of change, that are really blowing in the favor of the left, because the lived experience of Americans is not a positive one right now. There's a lot, like, if I say that to somebody on the left, and somebody who's very well versed in what is being said, you're going to give me the talking points the way that Joe Biden will give the talking points to tell you how great it is. When you leave that conversation and you go back to the grocery store, or you go back to paying your bills or trying to pay down your credit card debt, you still have the same experience. And Joe Biden's flowery words don't change that experience. His policies have changed your lived experience. It is what it is. And that is something that can be very powerful in an election. I look at this revelation that is being exposed in the Dominion lawsuit, because I don't think that the Dominion lawsuits are going to do anything other than some political collateral damage because certain things have been released. I don't know anybody who, I don't know, maybe you guys do. I don't know anybody personally who's going to find out that Donald Trump is loathed by Tucker Carlson, who's going to watch him less. Just like you said, Ryan, there is not There is never, ever a fanboy element of Tucker Carlson. I'm not 100% sure that he likes anything. He's always the way I feel like any good news commentator should be. He's questioning everything. He doesn't go on the air to lavish people with praise. If you turn on MSNBC, you're going to get people who are lavishing Joe Biden with praise. It's protesting a little too much. There are shows on Fox where people still will lavish Donald Trump with praise. It's protesting a little too much. It's either you're preaching to a choir, and that's easy because you got a group of people and you're like, this is what they want to hear. I'm going to just give it to them. Or you feel the pressure so much that you need to be an advocate. I personally don't value that. I also don't need to agree with Tucker on every point to watch him and to value his angle. I don't watch the news, and I'm certain there are a lot of people who do. I don't watch the news so someone can affirm everything I think and believe. I'd like to be informed. I'd like to be persuaded. I'd like to be attempted to be persuaded to hear the counter argument and go, no, that argument sucks because blah, blah, blah. And then I am even more affirmed in what I may have originally believed, but maybe even at another level because I've heard a counter argument that I can successfully push back on. It is not surprising to me whatsoever that Laura Ingraham was frustrated with the way things were going down. I even remember Sean Hannity on his show, and to me, he is the ultimate Trumper, which I know that the people like in the trenches, the MAGA trenches, the ultra MAGA trenches, which I think Joe Biden is in because he's always talking about it.
Yeah, he's ultra MAGA.
Yeah, he is, clearly. It's like, what does this card say? Are you sure?
Okay.
Maybe I'll whisper it. When I know there's this whole concept of the establishment and Paul Ryan, who apparently is the most evil man to walk the face of the planet. I mean, like, I understand the questions surrounding Paul Ryan, but
he is the public face of the establishment,
right?
Though. He is. And Mitch McConnell.
Paul Ryan is the one who reluctantly became the speaker because John Boehner he quit. He got ousted. I'm not here to support Paul. I don't care about Paul Ryan. I understand he's on the board at Fox. He has influence. Whatever. If you support Ron DeSantis because you know what he's done in Florida and you value what he's done in Florida and you like the way he fights, you like the way he wins, you like the way he refuses to lose, it is possible that people really like Ron DeSantis for those reasons and not because of Paul Ryan. Maybe it's a small possibility.
It's a good point. It needs to be made.
Isn't it?
Because you can't just say that that's the reason. It's look at the policies. Again, look at the policies. Look what he's doing in Florida. He's doing a good job.
He's doing what we want. I mean, it's the scoreboard. It is what you want to see happen. And it is offensive to me, not because I'm a Ron DeSantis supporter, because I don't consider myself an either-or person. I don't think that my support for Ron DeSantis precludes me from supporting Donald Trump, even in the primary at some point. Ron DeSantis is not in the race. I think he's going to be, but he's not in the race. If Ron DeSantis loses the primary, I think it's the most ignorant thing to say, I will never vote for Donald Trump. And the Trumpers who are like, I could never vote for Ron DeSantis. Stop it.
And also,
so
yes,
crazy.
you will. Yes, you will.
No kidding.
Because he's going to be up against Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, then you're going to go, oh, wait, I think I'm going to rethink that.
Hot prediction.
Please.
Kamala Harris gets kicked off the ticket before Joe Biden announces that he's not running again.
Oh.
Gets replaced with, VP gets replaced with Michelle Obama. Joe Biden doesn't run. Michelle Obama runs.
Ew. No.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen,
No.
do you? I know you don't. Because it would be
She'd be a horrible president.
I think she could be the president, though.
Brad's right, and he's wrong. When you're wrong, you're wrong.
Can't we both be right?
No, you
We
cannot.
could absolutely both be
Brad's
right.
right. She would be a horrible president, and he's wrong. She will not. That will not happen.
This was one of my non-fever dreams over the last few days, and it terrified me. And
that's a nightmare.
I think it's going to happen. And I needed to say it out loud so when it happens, I can go, see?
Keep that, please, so that when it doesn't, I can play it back in Wiggins America.
And you know who wins in that instance? All of us.
Yes, indeed.
We'll be right back.
Let 'em say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your hands
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
like the world around us.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
We can make it if we're hard to hard. And we can build.
CAJonesInc.com. We can build this dream together, guys.
Whatever.
Round of applause.
Great transition.
For me.
Yay.
This is where, Ryan, you talk about the good radio things I do with shock in your voice.
What? That wasn't good.
Are you kidding me? We can build this thing together. CAJonesInc.com.
I don't know.
Ryan, I
don't
think
know.
that was so good it went over your head.
Look, when you hit one, you hit one. I don't know if that was
I
one.
got to talk about C.A. Jones here. Brad, will you take him outside and explain it to him?
Let's go.
I don't have enough time.
You got 60 seconds. CAJonesInc.com, the website where they're leaving. Yeah, explain that. Write it down for him. CAJonesInc.com, boys. When you are looking to build a house on the Illinois side of the river and you are looking for someone who you can build this dream together with, it is with C.A. Jones Inc. because they're the best. They have the most beautiful, gorgeous houses. And my husband and I are starting to think about building our next home and making sure that we go with a place and kind of getting deeper into that conversation about what kind of house would we want? What kind of space do we want for the long haul? Where do we want the bedrooms to be? We've got 4 kids. We're not always going to live in that house with 4 kids. So you start thinking about these things. You need a partner who's going to walk through this process with you that's experienced. And you also want to make sure you build a home that is for the future. You want to have a house that is Energy Star certified, like the homes with C.A. Jones Inc., that's going to save you on those energy costs down the road, that's going to have a 10-year builder limited warranty and a lifetime waterproof basement warranty. The Design Your Home Builder, I'm obsessed with it, on the CAJonesInc.com website. Go there and start playing right now. And then that fun that you're having on the website might turn into a reality. If you're looking to build on the Illinois side of the river, it's C.A. Jones. Online at CAJonesInc.com.
Hi, this is Terry Hall, host of the popular radio show for veterans, Vet Time in America. Sundays at 12 noon on 97.1 FM Talk. Our show is all about veterans. We talk with experts. We help you get benefits, how to get more, and what to do if you're not getting what you deserve. Tune in on Sunday at noon. Join the conversation. We take calls. Vet Time in America. Tune in this Sunday at noon on 97.1 FM Talk.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
World we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our 4-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Everybody knows
Dad, tell me about the lever and swap it thing again.
Well, at Clement Auto Group, if you don't love the pre-owned vehicle you purchase, you can swap it out for a different one within 5 days.
I like that. I'm going to use that with a new girl at school.
Wait, what?
Old girl is out, new girl is in.
Oh boy. Remember, how you treat people does matter, son. And you're right. At Clement Auto Group, if you don't love the pre-owned vehicle you purchase, you can swap it out for another one.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Phil Holloway is back with us, Fox News analyst.
Say what you want to say about Governor DeSantis, but he's been one of the leaders on COVID. He's turned out to be right about basically everything.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
I was rolling wheels and shifting gears around that Jersey Turnpike. Barney stopped me with his gun 10 minutes after midnight. Said, sir, you broke the limit in this rusty old truck. I don't know about that accent, son. Just where did you come from? I said, where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken.
Brad, did you get us up on Rumble?
I did. We're up on Rumble.
The platform that we use to stream the show every day, it hasn't fully accepted Rumble yet as an easily integratable platform to stream on. I think it's coming.
I would have to think so too, because there's too many big names going to Rumble now.
Yeah. It takes me a fraction of the time to put up our show on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter that it would take me to just put it on Rumble, because all of those platforms are integrated into the tool we use to stream. But we're going to start focusing on getting it on Rumble too. But the other thing is that the way we stream the show so that you can watch the show, we focus on YouTube, but it's also on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch. It also doesn't pull in the comments that come in on Rumble. So we're not as active. We can't monitor all of those things and do a good radio show. And we always got to do the good radio show first. So we're hoping that they integrate Rumble, but we are on Rumble, and all of our videos after the fact get put up on Rumble. Steven Crowder announced that he's now full-time on Rumble. I think it's going to be a really big deal for the platform.
It is. Well, Steven Crowder was the largest conservative voice on YouTube, millions of subscribers. And now he took his entire show off of that platform and has put it on Rumble, and his followers will follow him right over there.
Yeah. So it's interesting. We've been on Rumble for a long time, but we're not as active live. And as soon as as soon as the StreamYard is what we use to stream the show, as soon as I ask them pretty much every week at a town hall that they have, could you integrate Rumble? I feel like it's got to be near. Do we want to do the Last Me Anything? Are we ready for that?
Yep.
All right, let's go. If you have questions, send them on to the YouTube live chat, Annie Fry YouTube right now. And join us and ask the questions. Hannah, it's up to you to
If you have anything
make it
to
go.
ask me, just go ahead.
I want the truth!
Say it.
Thank you for your honesty.
You can't handle the truth! And the truth shall set you free!
All right, first question we have is from Gus from YouTube. He asked, how do we find you guys on Rumble?
Annie Fry Show.
Yep.
That's pretty.
Just go into Rumble and type in
easy.
Annie Fry Show and go follow us there. Like I said, we're also you have to do the same thing to get on Getter. I want that to be integrated too. I'm not opposed to it. I like all of those platforms. So Annie Fry Show, which is the same thing on Twitch, and Twitter is Annie Fry Show, Facebook is Annie Fry Show, YouTube is Annie Fry.
Instagram is at the
Annie Fry Show. And I think I own Annie Fry Show on Instagram, but I don't know how to get it. Which really is a microcosm of Instagram and me. Just we're in the same room, awkwardly avoiding eye contact.
All right. We have a question from Brandon. He is asking, what are some good video games for a non-gamer to get started with? My wife just got a Switch today as her first ever video game console, and we need to get her up and running. So what do you guys suggest? I know nothing about
I'm a
video
Switch
games.
user.
Yeah, you go for it, because I don't have a Switch.
Ryan, did you ever get a Switch?
Yeah, we got one for Christmas.
That's what, yeah, he revealed that.
Oh, you were gone when we talked about this.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a Switch now, and my son is easing into it.
What do you play?
Mario Kart. Although I haven't played it a lot. He's been playing it. He's been playing some game called Pikachu something. He's playing the Pikachuies. And
it's that Pokemon.
Yeah. And like that's my aunt used to be like, oh, you're playing the Nintendo, are you?
Yeah, the Nintendo.
The Nintendo. I'll Nintendo you, she would say. I'm like, oh man, a verb?
My family, we play Fortnite a lot on the Switch, and I enjoy playing Fortnite. And my husband will play, my son plays, my daughter plays, the older two, and we
Molly?
Molly, not quite yet. Evelyn, no. But Jensen and Charlie will play Fortnite, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. My son was begging to play Fortnite, and I said, you are not going to play a game where you shoot guns at people until you understand what a real gun does. So we actually prioritized him going out and learning how to shoot a rifle and a pistol so that he understood the power of a gun before it was a toy in a video game for him. That might not be your cup of tea, but it was the Fry cup of tea, and I'm glad we did it that way. And then also, I talk about this a lot, but I think it's Super Mario Party or something. I said Mario Party, and my son corrected me the other day. We play that a lot. It's fun to play with the family. And there's a bunch of mini games in it that are silly, fun things to do, and so we have a good time with it.
Is Among Us on there?
My kids play Among Us. Yes. We also, my son plays MLB The Show and Rocket League.
Rocket League's a lot of fun.
Everybody loves Rocket League. I've never played it. I'm not interested in it. Don't have time for it. So those are the ones I would say. I love the Switch though. We were looking at a PlayStation and an Xbox a couple Christmas. It was 2020, Christmas 2020, because we're spending so much time at home, and we opted for the Switch because we weren't sure how much video gaming we would do, and it's half the price and it's portable. So I think it's a great set.
All right, next question. Todd is asking us, at a fish fry, would you eat the cod, the catfish, the shrimp, or the fried chicken?
Ooh, none.
Oh, man. This is a good question because the song coming in was all about cornbread and chicken. And now I was thinking about it this whole time, going, man, that sounds good right now. And Mark Reardon has a fish fry this afternoon.
I would eat the cornbread.
I'd eat the mac and cheese.
I like the cod. That's my favorite fish fry fish.
What are you eating, Ryan?
Catfish. Although the cod cut-ups are usually really good, too.
I eat no seafood, nothing that comes out of the water. I don't like it. And if the fried chicken is on the bone, I don't eat meat off of a bone. So, are there chicken tenders?
There's always chicken.
Would you eat
There
something
probably
that
is.
goes in water, doesn't always live in water, like maybe an alligator?
Or a duck.
No,
You wouldn't eat a duck.
not on purpose.
What about a chicken that got caught in a stream?
Boneless?
Yeah, no bones in that chicken. That's why I was having a tough time walking around.
Just kind of squishing around.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. I'd
Found
eat that.
itself on
That
a
sounds delicious.
incline, just tumbled right into a pond.
All right. Moving on.
I eat chicken fingers.
Art asks, what do you think about the proposed 32-hour work week?
I don't think it's workable. No pun intended.
I don't understand how you can propose a are we talking about mandating a government mandated 32-hour work week?
Well, and the other question I have is, does that mean that do we have a collectively observed 3-day weekend, or do some people work Monday through Thursday and some people work Tuesday through Friday and you move shifts around? Because listen, the Annie Fry Show isn't going to have somebody else doing the show one day a week and be the Annie Fry Show. Some people are still going to have to work 5 days a week. So I don't get it. Maybe I just need to learn more about it.
My answer to this question is, it sounds awesome. If your company wants to do it, great. If you can negotiate that for yourself, fantastic. But if you can't, then so be it. That's why the free market works.
Well, and I don't think that you should work 32 hours and get paid for 40.
But if you can negotiate that, if you're that valuable to a company, great. If the company thinks that of you, go for it. I don't understand why we would have to decide. Like, that would be completely up to the company.
Society as a whole, though, kind of has to put their hand in the middle. And I mean, all of society is, you don't get drink specials on Fridays because they're Fridays. But
the company can decide to do drink specials on Fridays if they want to. That's the beauty of capitalism.
Well, I understand that, but there has to be kind of a collective 52% agreement of people that we're going to observe a 3-day weekend to make it so that some people aren't coming into work on a certain day of the week.
Right.
Well, I think it would fall downward, because if it did become that common, then we would only be, okay, everybody's taking off Friday anymore, the majority of America. Well, then we don't need to do a show on Friday anymore. That's what would happen.
But if we don't do a show on Friday anymore, then we limit 20% of our ability to do advertisements and talk about people who sponsor us and support us, which makes our bottom line go down. And they're not talking about getting rid of 20% of the people. It doesn't.
I mean, what you're talking about is economic realities, and that's what I'm saying. It's gonna play out. Whether we all say we'd like it or not, it's just gonna play out the way that it does.
You just don't want it to play out and then have a bunch of people harmed by it because it didn't play out too well.
But hands-off approach would cause that to not happen that way.
But that's the thing, though. Of course, it's all going to play out the way it's going to play out. Until Bernie Sanders gets his way, this is the way. Everything is going to determine, based on the market, what's going to happen, except for the fact that government is going to go to this. The only way that this becomes a thing is when government, like federal holidays. How many of those federal holidays do you get off? It's always based on people employed by the government, schools that observe those governmental calendars and banks and stuff like that. But the majority of working people aren't going to be able to partake in it. And that's why I just don't think it's workable. Well, do we have more questions? We've got more questions, right?
We do, yeah.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, more Ask Me Anything on the Annie Fry Show. Let us know serious questions, silly questions, anything in between. Join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel and comment your Ask Me Anything question right there on the live chat portion. You can also vote in the poll. We love your reactions as well. We have fun with it. Which show member is the best athlete? Hannah, Brad, Ryan, or Annie? Go vote in the poll, which is in the live chat. Leave a question and a comment. We'll be back in just a minute.
Rolling wheels and shifting gears around that Jersey Turnpike. Barney stopped me with his gun 10 minutes after midnight.
You're listening
Said,
to the
"Sir, you
Annie
broke
Fry
the
Show."
limit in his rusty old truck. I don't know about that accent, son. Just where did you come from? I said, where I come from, it's cornbread and chicken. Where I come from, a lot of front porch sitting. Where I come from, trying to make a living and working hard to get to heaven. Where I come from.
AirComfortService.com. I want you to check them out on their website at aircomfortservice.com/insulation. If you have been noticing drafts in your house, an element of your home that isn't heating or cooling as well as your air conditioner heater should be working, well, that might be that insulation. 9 out of 10 homes are under insulated. Is yours? Have you checked it? You can reach out to Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. And talk to them about the insulation in your home. With a properly maintained HVAC system and proper insulation, you're going to see an increase in your energy savings. Who can afford not to do that right now? An increase in comfort and better indoor air quality. You can visit aircomfortservice.com/insulation for more details and find out about the insulation level inside your home and if it's up to par. They are going to give you the best customer service that you need. They're going to give you the honest truth. They're going to give you options. They're going to tell you maybe your air conditioner, your heater is working in good order and your insulation is fine. They'll tell you what you need to know. I trust them in my home. You can trust them in yours. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com/insulation.
Ashley's Orange event is happening for 3 days only. Friday through Sunday only. Save 30% off store-wide. Or get 60 months no interest with no minimum purchase and no down payment. Don't miss Ashley's biggest event of the year. Shop hot deals starting at $199. Plus, shop Ashley Sleep Doorbuster mattresses. Your choice Comfort Queen mattress now only $399. Text 79975 to schedule your appointment today. Friday through Sunday only. In store at Ashley.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, March 21st at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online to retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and sick of losing so much money in your retirement accounts? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your 401k tax-free and protect your nest egg from any more losses and still generate more income than most investment options? Would you like to know how linking to the market instead of owning the market is so much safer for your retirement nest egg? You'll get all the answers and more If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, March 21st at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com. There are a lot of smart business people out there making smart decisions by getting Rhino Shield. The latest one, the Central Illinois Care Services, they have decided to go with Rhino Shield on the outside of their building so they won't have to worry about maintenance from now on. The list is long. Joe's Tire out in Sullivan, Stonehill Wineries in Herman, they've all got Rhino Shield on their buildings. You can have it on your business or your house. Just call 877-25-RHINO. Let Darren come out and give you a free estimate as to what it would cost to get this great product on your home. 25-year transferable warranty, 100% waterproof, 8 to 10 times thicker than paint, and as a satisfied customer, 15 years in, I can tell you it looks as good as the day they put it on. You're going to love Rhino Shield. Call them right now. Tell them you heard about it on the Mark Cox Morning Show. Again, 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today. That's yourEyeDoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Free speech has a home. 97.1 FM Talk.
Your home for conservative talk.
One of the only places where conservative ideas aren't shut out of the conversation. This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Man, off air, we are having conversations about things we know nothing about. You ever have those conversations where you have a question, and so you ask a question, and then the next person answers with another question, followed by another person goes, I don't know, do you think it's this? I don't know, maybe it's that. And you don't really get anywhere.
It felt like we were actually having 4 different conversations because none of us knew what we were talking about.
Who says occur?
Facts.
Cardi B.
Her?
Occur.
Cardi B.
Cardi B?
Oh,
See,
that's
where
what you were saying.
In this conversation?
I wasn't
Thank you.
listening.
What were you doing? Working?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's
Running
what you
the show.
said. So I thought you were just saying
Your guess was
to
so
things.
wrong,
I said Nelly
Wiggins.
does that.
I
No,
heard that.
no.
That is so
Brian knows
wrong.
one rapper, and he's from St. Louis, and his name is Nelly. He's like, isn't that Nelly? I'm like,
I am
don't
very
think so.
familiar with most of the work of Cardi B.
Ryan, do you know why Nelly's
said that.
cutlass is blue?
In a way that is uncomfortable.
I didn't know he had a cutlass.
I don't know what he's talking about either, Ryan.
Right.
But she's right about Cardi B.
Yes.
She is the one that says occur.
Well, why didn't you say that before?
Because I didn't hear what you said. I thought you were just talking about adding R's to things generally.
That's what I said.
Yes, but Nelly does do that. Excuse me.
Okay.
Voice is cracking. Means you're
Oh,
lying.
it's because it means I'm getting so emotional. I mean, this is my area.
Don't come at Cardi
as you
B.
know.
Yeah, 100%. All right, a little more Ask Me Anything before we wrap up the hour. What do you got?
All right. Kenny from YouTube asked, next Friday is our sweet 16th anniversary. First one since retiring from the Navy back in St. Louis. He needs ideas of where to go.
Well, obviously, we go to Ryan for this.
Yeah, you're going to have to go to Andrea's Steakhouse.
That's so lame.
in Fairview Heights of Fallon,
I'm
Illinois.
going to charge him $5 for that.
I'm not charging them a thing for that, but they could throw a steak my way. That'd be fine.
I'll throw a steak your way.
I will eat that steak. Throw it in the air and I'll run under it.
Brad, any 16th wedding anniversary?
16th wedding anniversary. I mean, Andrea's is in reality, it's a really good choice.
He just went there the other day, didn't he?
The other day. I really like. It's called Gulf Shores. It's in Edwardsville. I like seafood in Creole. If you're looking for, it's not like a fancy restaurant or anything like that. But my wife and I go there for our anniversary.
We just went to 1818 Chop House for Jared's 40th birthday and had amazing steak and amazing everything. Highly recommend that. But I don't know. Do something that has to do with how you met.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good idea.
See?
Do something personable. That is my best advice. It doesn't even have to be expensive. Just tell her how you feel and
something that shows that you thought about it.
Yes.
Kenny, you ever
That's all
showed
that
your wife
matters.
the arch? Because maybe you could do that.
No, every time they pass it, he covers her eyes.
Cover her eyes.
It's the worst when she's
Don't
driving.
look.
Where are we? I always don't know where we are.
There's gunfire and you're driving really fast. Why didn't you stop at that red light? We're in St. Louis, aren't we? Yeah.
All right, next question. Patrick Riley from YouTube asked.
Pat Riley? Anyway.
Slick back hair.
He's free.
With the NCAA tournament less than a week away, who will spend the most time watching it? I don't even know what that is. Is that basketball?
So answer's not Hannah.
Is it?
Pat Riley talking about basketball.
I'm going to say it's probably me.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Annie. It depends, though. Are you going to do a bracket again?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so in.
Yeah, you got third place last year. He's a state holder in the Edwardsville Red Wings.
Hard odor.
Oh,
How are
man.
you?
Yeah.
That's the one I put money towards and then didn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, you didn't fill out your bracket. You're like, oh, I was going to do it after work. I'm like, no, Hannah.
The tournament's
Games are starting.
I'm going to wait and see how it goes and then fill it out. You can do it this year, but you can actually pick your teams. It's usually like $10 or something like that.
I watch a lot of that tournament. The first weekend is maybe the most fun sporting event of the year.
It's up there for sure.
It's way up there.
Yeah, my son does a NCAA bracket fundraiser for his basketball team, and they usually offset some costs for uniforms or equipment or whatever it is that they need. And my kids are really into college basketball. Illinois laid an egg against Penn State last night.
Man.
So I don't know
Who are
how
our
it's gonna
local teams going to be this year to root for? SLU could still.
SIU Edwardsville might get a berth in. Yes.
They're actually really good
Yes,
this
they
year.
are. I know. That's why I'm saying this.
But I mean,
It's
they're.
where Ryan drops knowledge on me. He's like, have you seen them play? They're going to compete this year.
I mean, making the tournament would be a big deal for them.
Oh, my gosh.
But
the biggest sports moment in SIUE history.
Yeah.
My husband has a T-shirt, and on the back it says SIUE football, undefeated since 1957. And he wears it around these kids like at practice every once in a while. They're like, I didn't know SIU's football team was good. We're like, undefeated.
Undefeated, baby.
Yeah. I don't know. I would probably say me, but if we do have a bracket in, Hannah, I bet if you do fill out a bracket, you might get into it.
Maybe.
We're carrying the SLU games on this station this weekend, FYI.
97.1?
Yeah.
Obviously.
So if they win Saturday at 11:46, remember that time.
Yeah.
Then they'll be playing here on Sunday for the championship.
In the studio.
Right here where we're sitting.
Gonna move some things
It's
around.
a lot bigger than it looks online.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. If you log in, you're going to be like, they're going to
Next
play
question.
basketball in there.
Tay, ask Annie, how are you doing right now?
Quote me. I would say that Brad's been asking me on a scale of 1 to 10 how I'm feeling. And yesterday I said 4.
Yeah, you said 4 yesterday.
I think today I said 5.5.
Oh.
Better than I have been. I'm not well, but I'm not. I'm not terrible. Just could be better.
Wait a minute now.
What?
Dirk says, we need confirmation on this. SIUE is out. SEMO won the conference, is in the tournament.
Well, if you win the conference, you're automatically in the tournament.
I think he's saying SIUE already lost, though.
The conference tournament. The winner of the conference
Oh,
tournament.
you're saying they could get an at-large berth?
Yes. They
Okay.
could.
Okay.
They're closer than they ever have been. If you win the conference tournament, doesn't matter if you're the worst team
Right.
in the conference. If you win the conference tournament, you're in.
Right.
If you are on the bubble team, like Illinois, and you lose the first round against Penn State, not doing yourself any favors. But my husband says they'll still get in. So somebody to cheer for.
Well, you can root for SEMO.
The good news is that when Illinois is ranked really high and expected to go really far, they usually lose by 20 in the first round.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen when they kind of stink and maybe
they may
low
they
expectations?
may not get in.
I know. That's what I keep saying. My husband's like, no, you're going to get in, which is how my husband talks.
All
Your
right.
husband and your oldest son.
Last quick
Same
question,
person.
really quick. Andrew Weber asked, who is coming on for X's and O's today? What a good segue.
Anna and Hayes.
Anna and
Hayes are coming. Mr. Fry said. I wanted to go, but I had to go to work. Although I had Monday off because it was Kashmir Pulaski Day. He's the best man ever. Kashmir Pulaski's a man, right?
Yeah.
Was that this Monday?
Nobody at it was too long ago. We don't know how he identified.
Is it hot in here?
Yeah, it is. It's getting there.
Oh, that hurts my side to laugh like that. I got what?
Back to the original question. How are you doing?
No, I was going to say,
So,
what's
the poll question is, who's the best athlete?
the fact that I have
right now?
a sore
Yeah,
side
right now,
now
that's
has
what we're
anything to
wanting.
do with, you want to fight? I'll fight you.
You just hurt yourself laughing.
No, I pulled my side
not
muscle.
very
You want to know
athletic.
how I pulled my side muscle?
Laughing.
Boxing.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
You're sick. You haven't been boxing. You've been boxing while sick?
You think that an injury has to be within the last 24, 48 hours in order to hurt?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's fight and I'll prove it.
Okay.
Coming up next.
With a broken side. That's what I'll do. Stick around. Hayes
right
and
for that
Anna
rib.
in studio in a minute.
When you come to Diamonds Direct, we know it's always the start of a celebration, an engagement, your wedding day, honoring a lifetime of love, searching for that special birthday gift for the one you love the most, and all the celebrations in between. That's why we've created a shopping experience to match your excitement. You walk into a beautiful showroom with experts eager to help, or if you prefer, just explore on your own as long as you like. At Diamonds Direct, we've taken pressure out of the process. Our experts are cheerful and engaging. We'll help you on your terms with your price range when you're ready. We've made it easy by offering virtually unlimited options, with everything in our showcase being handpicked for its beauty and quality. You can't go wrong. You're guaranteed to get the best value because we are the value leader, and you have confidence knowing you're protected with our lifetime warranties and guarantees. Diamonds Direct's experience is designed with our goal of creating not just a happy experience, but a magical one. So you leave smiling, just like you came in. Diamonds Direct, for your best moments in life. Get store hours and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
My husband and I have been talking about building a home. I was discussing that with the C.A. Jones conversation before. But one of the things that we're going to need to replace in our house before we sell it is the carpet. When we bought the house, we told ourselves, we'll replace this carpet. Now, when you are shopping for flooring, I'm encouraging you greatly to shop at Michael's Flooring Outlet. That's where we're going to make our purchase. The question is, how much do we let our kids live their lives on the carpet that is in there right now before we replace it, and then they continue to live those very messy lives on the new flooring that we put in? That's where the Mohawk Smart Strand line comes in, because it's really created to stand even the rigors of living under the feet of the Fry kids. When you are looking to put in flooring in your new home, you want to make sure that your investment is a good one. Michael's Flooring Outlet will help you navigate that situation, whether it's your residential or commercial flooring replacement, to make sure that your investment is a solid one, that flooring is going to be able to stand that test. Reach out to them online and find out about their products at igotfloored.com.
Start your Amazon business.
Hi, Ian Bauer. My first year averaged $45,000 a month in sales. Now I'm at $90,000 a month and hardly working.
In 2020, Americans made $50 billion selling on Amazon. Join America's Amazon expert, Dylan Frost, where everyone can learn how to start an Amazon business for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. 2-hour seminar Tuesday, March 28th at 2 p.m. for the greater St. Louis area. Register at wholesaleformula.com. That's wholesaleformula.com.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend right here on 97.1 FM Talk. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A debate with a long way to go. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden pointing to another stronger than expected jobs report as evidence his plan is working, while Republicans slam his new plan for trillions more in taxes and spending.
Touting a February jobs report that added 311,000 new jobs
President Biden turning his attention to his budget. The president claims his plan will create more jobs and lower the deficit while criticizing demands from the right-wing House Freedom Caucus.
I don't know what there's much to negotiate on.
The caucus chairman tells Fox News the proposal would cut spending and place a cap on future spending so the debt ceiling doesn't have to be raised. Those cuts include the president's student loan forgiveness plan and repurposing unspent COVID funds.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz at the White House. The jobs report fueling more concern on Wall Street about how high the Fed's next rate hike will be as the inflation fight continues. Then came word of the biggest bank failure since the financial crisis. Regulators taking over Silicon Valley Bank amid widespread customer withdrawals. The Dow sinking more than 400 for a time. Right now, it's down 239. A hostage-taking standoff in southwest Germany where 2 people are reportedly being held at a pharmacy while the attackers demand ransom money. This just a day after the deadly shooting at a Jehovah's Witness hall in northern Germany, killing 6 people.
The slaughter in the city of Hamburg, where German Chancellor Olaf Scholz was the former mayor, he described it as a brutal act of violence. Prosecutors say the gunman, a 35-year-old German national identified only as Philip F., in line with German privacy rules, took his own life, adding he fired more than 100 rounds during the attack.
Fox's CJ Papa, police say the gunman had left that congregation more than a year ago and that he legally owned a semi-automatic pistol. America is listening to Fox News.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number?
Not me.
Nope. Nuh-uh. Oh, no. He's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Keeping it windy, keeping it chilly this afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, 49 down to 32 tonight. Lots of clouds. Saturday, cloudy skies. Rain developing quickly Saturday afternoon. Windy and a cold 45. A cold rain, 38 on Saturday night, all night long. Sunday, a couple of showers first thing in the morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and dry. 45 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. TrueHold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And TrueHold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since TrueHold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's TrueHold.com.
The med spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the med spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
So if you are sitting at home and you're feeling kind of cruddy, like I have been here recently, I want you to know about Stay Home Medical. I cannot advocate enough for this way of doing medicine. Now, there's a lot of ways that have traditionally been managing medicine for a long time, and I think you think this way too. It's not a system that really is designed around you and your medical care. Stay Home Medical is. StayHomeMedical.com. StayHomeMedical.com. 314-944-3003. 314-944-3003. It's a more personalized approach to healthcare where they come to you. So you call that number. I'm going to say it again here in a minute. So get your phone out and ready to tap it in your phone and save it as Stay Home Medical, where a nurse practitioner like Adina Winter, who I've met, is amazing. I'm going to have her come to the studio and do a blood draw for me because I need to do some lab work. And I just can't find the time right now to get to the lab, to go in, to set up the appointment. It's too complicated. So she's going to come to me and she's going to do it here with me. It's that simple. If you have an ear infection or a UTI or bronchitis, or you're just feeling all around cruddy, you want to do a COVID test, Adina will come to you and she will make it so that you don't have to go anywhere. You'll get your care taken. Wonderfully done. Adina is wonderful, and I highly encourage you to give her a call. Here's that number one more time. 314-944-3003. StayHomeMedical.com.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
When companies decide to take shortcuts, the safety of our families are at risk. At Underlaw, we find and expose those shortcuts.
Call Underlaw Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 618 900,000.
You're listening to award-winning, thought-provoking talk. You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk.
Your home for conservative talk.
On the air for over 20 years.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
Like, you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Yeah, I'm as surprised as you are. Todd on the Annie Fry YouTube channel just commented, if I owned a DeLorean, I'd probably only drive it from time to time. Happy Friday. It's one of our favorite times of the week, which is X's and O's times, and we've got some good dear friends in here with us. Hayes and Anna, both seasoned professional X's and O's players.
Yes.
Would you say so?
I don't know. I mean, I felt good. It just boosted my confidence.
Hayes, when you saw that you were competing against Anna, were you like, I totally got this? Or did you have a little intimidation?
I had a little intimidation.
I can't remember last time we played who won.
Yeah.
So.
That's good. I think it was close.
Hopefully.
We'll go.
It was a few weeks ago. It wasn't too terribly long ago. Well, this is the time where Ryan Wiggins finally gets to take over the show and play a game, because that's all he ever wants to do is just play games. So take it away. It's all yours. X's and O's.
I always come in here saying, let's play some games. And Annie says, let's do a radio show instead. So this is the time when those two things meet and we play X's and O's. Our drummer has entered the room. What did we determine his name was? Todd, too, wasn't it?
Todd.
We named the drummer while we were gone.
Todd?
Yeah.
Not Todd.
No, not Todd.
Hi, Todd.
Todd. Yeah. Todd
Nothing against
Johnson.
Todds
He's
at
from
all.
the north.
Okay. Hi, Todd. Okay.
Rules of the game,
He
as
wasn't
you're
happy
aware.
you
There are
revealed his name
rules?
either.
What if he's Todd with one D?
That'd be fine. It's all about Googling your name and having good search engine optimization, which is what that does.
Todd with brevity.
Yeah, exactly. Like my friend Nick, NIC.
Just get straight to the point.
Yeah. All right, this is X's and O's, I think. I don't really know what we're doing right now.
Nobody does.
So this is the game we play every Friday. It's based on the news of the week, and that is no exception this week. A lot of news to cover. Hayes, you will be X's. Anna, you will be O's.
Nice.
We have a wide open tic-tac-toe board behind you, numbered 1 through 9. Each square has a corresponding question. We also have 3 experts in the room, Brad, Hannah, and Annie. You will be the contestants. You will pick the squares. I will ask the questions, but you get to pick your expert that answers that question. You simply disagree or agree with their answer. So, based on the fact that last time we don't remember who won.
Right.
Gone with something.
Hayes
stuck with it.
has a pretty good track record here.
Well, let's not boost it up and put it out there in the universe
Undefeated.
where I get jinxed.
We'll
Not
say-
undefeated. But
all-time world
I
champion.
think he's 10-0.
He wears the belt around the office.
Pretty good.
Yeah, with great confidence.
Just like Tyrus, yeah.
Yeah.
If you see him, he's wearing the
Nice,
belt.
Yeah.
That belt is actually from when Tyrus played X's and O's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, fun fact.
I'm making all of
So
this.
maybe
Fully
I need
true
to
fun
like
fact.
I need to come in.
Yeah.
And Tyrus, all right. Anyway, so
And
yes.
take his belt from him.
But I want to say ladies first
On this show.
I want to say ladies first as always.
What a gentleman.
I want to say that too, but I'm not going to. Hayes, you go. No, I'm just kidding. Anna, Anna, you go first.
All right, I'm going to go square 9.
Bottom right.
And
Square 9.
I will choose Brad.
All right.
Brad, here we go. The city of Glendale, Arizona. It was in a question previously. They're back. The city of Glendale, Arizona will temporarily change.
Who'd you pick?
Brad.
Brad? Okay. Sorry. I was texting.
Go ahead. You got things to do.
Yeah, I do.
Not like there's a show going on
No.
here or anything.
No, this is where I get to step back.
Yeah, she's doing a little business.
Doing some light paperwork. Somebody texted me and was talking about when we were talking the 16th anniversary and said going to Musali's in Edwardsville. Have you guys been to Musali's?
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. That is what I was doing. I apologize. There you go, Musali's.
That sounds amazing. I'm Italian and it sounds Italian to me,
it's
so I
fantastic.
want to go.
You do. Anyway, anywho.
The city of Glendale, Arizona will temporarily change its name in honor of a music tour kicking off there next week. It's the Eras Tour, highlighting the best songs from this artist's career. And the closest this megastar's tour will be to St. Louis is 3 dates in Chicago and 2 in Kansas City.
Ooh,
Won't be
Hayes
here.
is emphatically nodding his head.
Yeah, I think they probably all know.
He knows.
I think
he
I
knows.
know, so.
Glendale has not said what they will temporarily rename their city yet. Apparently, they're going to announce that next week. What megastar could cause such ridiculousness, Brad? Kicking off the tour in Glendale, they're going to change the name of the town for a day.
I have no idea the answer to this question.
Yeah.
There's no shame, Brad. Make
Justin Bieber.
it up. Ooh.
Justin Bieber.
That is not the right answer.
Anna?
Hey.
Oh, sorry. She
I'm
knows
going
that.
to disagree. I'm pretty positive it's Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you are positive and correct.
Nice.
Wow.
I didn't
It
know
is
it was
Taylor
T-Swift.
Swift.
Justin Bieber isn't touring right now,
Right,
Brad.
yeah, he
Come
canceled
on.
his tours,
A
didn't he?
dirt.
He just canceled his entire tour.
Every time we say something really positive about Justin Bieber, 5 minutes later we find out the exact opposite.
Yeah. I come in, I'm like, guys, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, Justin Bieber's touring. Hang on a second. SIUE is not going to make the tournament. Sorry. Bunch of references thrown
Rude.
together there.
That's just not definitive.
It's not definitive. You're right. We
Go
don't
Cougars. I am a cougar. In the
All right.
in the SIU Edwardsville sense.
Okay.
An alumni.
Only. I'm not old enough to be a cougar yet in that way.
Kinda.
What?
You're there.
You can be
What's
a
your
cougar.
autotone?
What?
You
Hayes,
can be
what
a
did you just
cougar
say?
at any age.
I said you're there.
What?
I mean, you're my age. We're not.
I am not in my 40s.
You just have to pursue a younger man.
You don't have to be a certain age to be a cougar. Even the drummer dropped off.
That is rude.
What Todd was like, I'm not having any more of this.
Don't you have to be a certain age to be a cougar?
No.
Take it away,
I know
Hayes.
you
You
don't.
answer this question.
No.
I don't want to get into this. I don't want to get canceled. But you're a mother, and you're a great-looking mother, and you're.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Right?
Me, not you. This is not about you, Ryan.
You're a good-looking mother.
You're a great-looking mother. I don't know. You could be a bad-looking mother too, and still be a cougar.
I think you could be a cougar at any age. I could be a cougar right now.
Thank you. No, you're not.
We need to stop
I
him
could if
before
I
this
dated
gets
someone
worse.
a lot younger than me.
Anna, will you please ask
What,
YouTube
like
how
12
old you
years
have to be
old?
to be a cougar?
I really feel like there isn't an age. I do agree with that.
Okay. All right.
I know what I'm
Well,
titling
fine.
this
I'm all
hour.
kinds of cougars.
Wait, you're going after younger men?
I'm thinking of Stifler's mom, American Pie.
Me?
No,
Yeah.
not you.
He's saying you're like Jennifer Coolidge.
This is not.
This is great. This is like looking into a funhouse mirror of my role on the show usually. I'm just letting you go.
So here's Hayes. It is. All right, so X's and O's. I will take a 1.
Very
I didn't see
professional.
this week ending in me being Stifler's mom.
Well, you just never know.
I'm thinking.
No, I know. Give me a break.
Fun fact: in high school,
Yeah,
people
okay,
said I
but-
look like Stifler in high school. That's weird.
Yeah.
Now it's even more
That's what
weird.
they said about Annie and Stifler's mom in high school.
Oh my gosh! So now it's all right. So
You're
yes,
fired.
1.
I don't have the ability to do
Hayes
that.
exits.
Okay, number one. I think you should choose Annie.
Yeah.
As your expert.
I'm going to choose Annie as my expert,
Yeah,
actually.
let's go. Let's do this.
Number
Okay,
one.
Here we go. Another book series may have been altered. R.L. Stein is accusing his publisher of making changes to his books without his permission, saying, quote, "I've never changed a word." What book series is R.L. Stein referring to?
Goosebumps? There's Fear Street, there's Goosebumps, but Goosebumps is more popular.
I would say I'd have to agree with Goosebumps.
Goosey Bumps.
That's a good choice.
I mean, like, right?
Something
is
only
Goosebumps.
a cougar would know.
That's right. Yeah. You're reading Goosebumps to stay up on the
Shut
what
up.
younger people are reading.
No, anybody who read Goosebumps is now 35.
Well, I guess you're dating
They're
yourself
cougars.
then.
Yeah. Exactly. Dang it.
Thank you.
Exactly. All right. We got a game here.
We do.
We got a game.
Yeah.
We're
this
playing a game
X's and
still?
O's?
Yeah. Anna's like, what the heck is happening? Anna, it's your turn, in fact.
All right. I'll go with 7 and Hannah.
All right.
All right, Hannah. Usually this is the part where I go, oh, you stumbled into sound, but you didn't.
Finally, for the first time
Great
ever.
story.
Number 7. Hugh Jackman has started bulking up with 8,000-calorie meals.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
To play a particular character in an upcoming movie. The movie is Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool 3. What is the character Hugh Jackbutt will be playing?
What?
Hugh Jackman.
I thought I heard Hugh Jackbutt.
I heard it.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
The late miss.
Hugh Jackbutt.
She made herself laugh so hard she had to walk away.
That water was not going down the way I
What
was
did you make, a
hoping.
Les Mis joke?
He was in Les Mis.
Oh, okay.
Get real beefy.
Hugh Jackbutt in
He's
Les
getting
Mis.
big.
Fontaine.
Bulking up for a particular
Bulking up.
role in Deadpool 3.
Not the Hulk.
Hugh Jackbutt will be playing the Hulk.
What are you saying?
What?
Is this an inside joke with yourself?
It is kind of. Me and my family. Me and Katie think it's funny to call him Hugh Jackbutt.
Okay. Wolverine?
Wolverine's a good guess. Anna, what do you think?
Okay, I don't know, but it sounds kind of right, so I'll go yes.
Might not be a
I
guess.
agree.
Locking it in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you guys are both right. Both right.
Wow. Nice job.
Correct. I think he has said before that he would not play that character again, which is why that's making news.
8,000 calories?
Yes, per meal.
No.
The dude is jacking up.
Not per meal.
No, that's
Is
a
that
day.
possible?
8,000
No.
calorie
It is
meals
absolutely possible.
is what
That
it
is-
said.
So,
It's absolutely
no,
Brad.
possible.
do you know how many calories that would be a day?
Yes.
8,000
Yeah.
A meal.
per
Listen,
meal.
I could do it. I've done it in my past.
All right.
There's a James Corden used to do. Is he off the air now?
Not yet.
Not
He's
yet?
in his last season.
He does crosswalk, like Broadway and
Yeah,
the crosswalk.
yeah.
It's super funny. And he did The Greatest Showman.
I've seen it.
It is so funny, but he keeps calling him huge. Like casually huge. Find it on YouTube. It's a very, very funny sketch.
All right, Hayes, your turn.
Yeah. All right, I guess we're back to this game again. I'm going to go with number 8, obviously. My lucky number, once again. Number 8, and I will go with Brad, actually.
The LA Times says the daily intake of 8,300 calories is paired with a rigorous fitness regimen.
Well, of course it is. It's not like he's just sitting there eating fried
walking.
chicken.
Daily intake.
Well, he's working. He's pumping iron, probably like.
He's not eating 25,000 calories a day.
No way.
He may just be eating one meal a day.
That's a
but
hard-
that's what it said.
This.
Oh my gosh.
Way to
You're
save
like
face, Ryan.
MSNBC over there. Knock it
The
off.
daily
Move
intake
on.
of calories, no matter how much junk we eat at this radio station, like there's so much crap out there.
All the time.
All the time. If you ingested that all day, you would not even, you'd probably be at like 2,500, 3, 4, maybe. 8,000 is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anyway. All right, so I'm going with number 8.
8 and Brad.
And Brad.
Leave it to Hayes to continuously get this game back on track.
Thanks, Hayes.
You're welcome.
Okay, Brad, this documentary filmmaker came out swinging against Ron DeSantis this week with quotable commentary like this.
I have been making films for almost 50 years about the U.S., capital U, capital S. But I've also been making films about us, the two-letter lowercase plural pronoun. And anytime anybody tells you that it's anything else other than us, there's only us. And when somebody tells you there's a them, move away. Move away.
Just a lot of pronouns in that.
Wow.
That was so deep, I think it might have been shallow.
Might have been offended. I don't know.
Yeah. You're offended.
Am I?
That's default.
Just be offended.
Just be offended.
Yeah.
It's just easier.
It's 2023. I'm offended.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Love it. All right. So the U.S., but it's actually about us. Which documentary filmmaker was saying things about that in reference to Ron DeSantis this week?
So that is the ever self-righteous Ken Burns.
I'm going to agree.
Okay, yeah, smart. You guys both got it. Ken Burns. He has the best dyed hair I've ever seen.
And the best baseball ever.
His baseball.
Kim Burns is awesome.
All right, we've got an X in the top left,
Yeah.
and the bottom row is all taken up. It goes circle, X, circle, and we're going to take a break right now. We've got Hayes and Anna in studio, facing off with little X's and O's. You can join and participate along on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Comment, watch all of the ridiculousness, and we'll be back in just a minute with a little more Annie Fry show before we turn it over to the Fish Fry and Mark Reardon show. That drummer, man, he is hard to keep down. I'm assuming he's a man. Maybe it's a woman. Maybe
It's
a
Todd,
cougar.
so well, I guess we still got to ask.
Todd, you got to say it fast. There's only one D.
Todd.
We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
So if you were looking for a dentist, if you are not happy with yours, maybe you don't even have one, it's just been a long time and it's time to get those teeth checked out, maybe got a little ache or a pain in your mouth, Foley Dental Group is taking new patients. Foley is the dentist for my family. I encourage you to give them the opportunity to be the dentist for yours. Now, when you go to Foley Dental, you're going to see their amazing new facility, brand new location at 270 and 159 in Maryville, Illinois. It's top of the line, state of the art, but it's the dental care that matters. It's making sure that when they do treat you for your teeth, there's a checkup, the x-rays and everything, that they do so in a way that makes you comfortable, but that also gives you the care and the results that you need. If you have a chipped tooth, if you're missing teeth, they can help you in a variety of ways remedy that situation for yourself in a way that you are comfortable with. I highly recommend Foley Dental Group for all ages, the elderly, if you're looking for dentures or implants, or even children. My children go to Foley Dental Group, and they have a wonderful experience when they're there. I trust them with my dental care. You can trust them with yours as well. Become a new patient by calling 618-288-9670. That's 618-288-9670. You can learn more online at FoleyDentalGroup.com.
Here at Odyssey, we know that all too often the news is filled with stories that just heighten the level of tension and anxiety in your daily life. So we've decided to puncture those worries and fears like a jet fighter shooting down a spy balloon from China. Or is it aliens now? Who can keep up? And that's the point. You don't have to, thanks to our new podcast, Name That News. We'll play you a handful of clips from the week, wildly out of context, and let you try and figure out just what is going on. Just like you do every day when the news is on, just more fun. Name That News, available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you ever get the feeling that the world is being held together with duct tape? Every day we're thrown some new meaningless drama in the fake news to distract us from the reality we're all about to face. Between the government trying to print their way out of debt, military conflicts, the disintegration of our most trusted institutions, and a looming food shortage, preparedness is no longer a choice. It's a necessity. You can trust My Patriot Supply. Our emergency food kits come packed with tasty meals averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one kit for each person in your family. Self-reliance is the only alternative to government food lines. Time is running out. Become ungovernable. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and save on dozens of different emergency food kits while you can. These kits are in stock, ship fast, and arrive in unmarked boxes for your privacy. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com before the next crisis strikes. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
This afternoon, we'll be in Eureka for the Mark Reardon Show Fish Fry Fridays.
Join us for great food and a live broadcast at Most Sacred Heart Catholic Church.
Fish Fry Fridays continue this week from 3 to 6 in Eureka on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Yo, come on, move this. Shake that body. Shake that body. Shake that body. Shake that body.
This is for all the cougars in the audience.
I was going to say.
That's great.
This is what Annie plays when she cougars.
That's an
She's
amazing
on the prowl.
song.
What song? What year?
Pump, I'd say 1991.
89.
Was it 89?
I was surprised that it dipped into the 80s, but yeah. This feels very early 90s.
And I know Paul Oakenfold, I'm a huge techno DJ, Paul Oakenfold, anyone knows, he helped produce a lot of that. Anyway.
There's something, if you think about the 90s as a whole, I always kind of have that grunge. The Nirvana,
100%,
Pearl Jam,
yeah.
but there was so much techno. And I love it. So, Hannah, what? What are you laughing at? Get it together, Hannah.
Someone commented, shake that cougar tail.
Knock it off with the cougar thing. I was trying to dance
So
like a
were
cougar.
you into the grunge and like new metal, like Limp Bizkit and Korn and stuff, or not so much?
No.
Oh, I was going to say.
That's late 90s, too.
No.
You're right.
I was aware of it
97, 98, 99.
when
You're
I
right.
was a wee little one. At the SIU Edwardsville pool because we were members there.
Oh, the cougar pool.
Yep, that's where all the cougars. Speaking of being a wee little one, that was a different end of that spectrum. I remember vividly being there, and The Point was always what was playing at the pool, and it's just, to me, that was my exposure to so much of that kind of music. And
especially because they were so new that, they were like, the station was new. That was it.
Yes.
Alt grunge. Yeah.
Yes. And so I wasn't really exposed to that kind of music outside of there, but I'll hear some of those songs from the early 90s, and I'm at the SIU Edwardsville
Did you
pool
slip, did you find the CDs and sneak them into your house?
I had the Alanis Morissette Jagged Little Pill with the explicit warning on it, and I felt the need to hide that one. But that is a definitive album.
You
in
had
my life.
Alanis Morissette. I had NWA. And my parents are like, what is this? And I'm like, I don't know. I got it from a flea market, the cassette.
Yeah, no, we didn't. I did not have any of that.
I did, and that's why I am.
There was maybe 2 F words on the Jagged Little Pill album.
Right.
But what a successful album that was.
Great.
And very defining of my childhood, which is what all the cougars say these days.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, where's that drummer? Let's get the drummer
Alanis
back in there.
Morissette's what got me into Dave Coulier.
There's Todd.
100%.
What was that sentence?
Doesn't matter.
Dave Coulier. Was it? What?
Gosh.
Uncle Joey?
Did you like that reference?
You liked it, right?
Was it? What?
Yeah, yes.
Is it what?
Yes.
Sorry.
There are 16 highly entertained people in St. Louis right now. Unfortunately, 3 or 4 of them are in this room.
Well, if you watch Nickelodeon, that's where it all started.
Nickelodeon was after, I was not a Nickelodeon kid. Mm-hmm. We didn't have cable in my house. And Ren and Stimpy was a little bit on the risque side, according to my parents. Do you know that, though? I bet you do.
I do, because some of those episodes were on MTV. and they wouldn't play the dirtier ones on Nickelodeon.
I couldn't watch Beavis and Butthead, couldn't watch The Simpsons.
Alanis Morissette was on You Can't Do That on television, on Nickelodeon. And then Dave Coulier had that show, I forgot what it was on Nickelodeon, that's how they met. Both Nickelodeon connections.
Did not know that.
Fun facts.
Yes. Like I said.
All right, what are we playing again?
Maybe 14 people.
X's and O's.
Yeah. Deep cuts. All right, whose turn is it anyway? Is
I
it
think
Hayes?
it's mine.
Is it Anna's? It's Anna's.
We're
Anna,
tied
your turn.
right All right, so I'm going to choose 3.
Top right.
Okay.
And Annie.
Yes.
All right, just about time that we stumbled into sound.
Joe Biden.
Disagree.
Whoa!
We'll see.
Just for posterity, though, this is a real sound cut from the week. I'm going to play it. It's run through AI software, so it's not going to sound like the person saying it. You have to tell me who said this.
She hurt him way more than he hurt me. Okay.
That's it. It's a
Chris
short
Rock.
one.
Chris Rock
fast.
said that about Jada is the she and him is the will, but Chris Rock said that in his Netflix special.
All right, you sound confident.
Yeah,
I'll agree.
also not Joe Biden. So we
Yeah,
can stick
also
with the
not
Joe
Joe
Biden
Biden.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
She hurt him way more than he hurt me.
Is that Chris Rock?
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
That's correct.
Definitely not chill.
No.
No, that
No.
wasn't either one of the Bidens.
What a great special that was. Did you watch it, anyone?
Clips. No.
Clips. I haven't seen it yet either.
So good.
He got
It-
some things off his chest.
It definitely seemed like a live special.
It was
wasn't.
live.
It didn't seem as polished.
Like
from
I
what
watched
saw.
it live.
Don't
Yeah.
you appreciate
As
that
a-
though?
I do.
In a world of polished
It was
stuff all the time.
But he did screw up, and then they had to go in and edit the Netflix where he screwed up a joke. It was passed out there. But
Oh, really?
funny.
Yeah.
So if you watched it now,
It's
you wouldn't
gone.
see. Oh,
it's not
interesting.
there. Yeah. He
All
screwed
right.
up the name of the title of the
Of his own special.
Scooter, our friend Scooter says Jada is for real a cougar.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would
Yes.
be true. Thank you for
Yes.
making that correlation to me.
Takes
Me and
one to know
Jada.
one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with number 6 back to the game here in the X's and O's. I'm going to go with number 6.
For a tic-tac-toe in the right column.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Wow. Kind of snuck up on us, didn't it?
It did.
Not really.
Okay, here we go. Who's answering first?
Let's say Hannah.
Hannah. We talked about Jimmy Kimmel hosting the Oscars this week, mostly because of Chris Rock's new Netflix special. I have a simple yes or no question for you here. So 50-50 chance. Is this Jimmy Kimmel's first time hosting the Oscars?
No.
Agree.
Correct. This is actually his third time hosting the Oscars.
Isn't he like the sixth man?
He's been there for
What
a
does
while.
that mean?
Well, athletes would understand this, but like the person you go to and the people who you want
The bench guy.
Fouled out.
I don't know. I mean, he's done it 3 times, so.
They should have brought Chris Rock back.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Right?
I don't get
maybe
why
Chris-
you wouldn't
maybe
have him
Chris
come
wouldn't.
back.
Yeah.
He may not have wanted to.
Yeah.
All right. We still got a game here and no tic-tac-toes. Anna, where do you
Nothing.
want to go here?
I'm going center square, number 5.
Nice.
And Brad.
Okay.
Brad's out after this.
Is this for a tic-tac-toe?
It is.
All right.
No.
Yes.
Right here?
Yes. Okay.
Diagonal. Sorry.
It's really hard. Tic-tac-toe's a hard game, you know?
I couldn't see the bottom left past Hayes.
You have stumbled into sound. This is number 5, right? All right, number 5. This is, of course, a real clip from the week, run through artificial intelligence software. Tell me who said this.
And I had these terrible headaches and was diagnosed with having well, anyway.
Yeah.
They had to take the top of my head off a couple times. See if I had a brain.
Yep, that's a real quote from this week.
I haven't heard that one.
All right.
Ironically.
I had these terrible headaches and was diagnosed with having, well, anyway.
Hold on a second. Do you guys know the answer to this question?
Oh, like the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz? I don't know. Jeez.
Yeah, the one without the brain?
Yeah, is that right, the Scarecrow? Anyway. I'm from Kansas. I should know this.
That's Joe Biden.
I'm going to disagree.
I know you want to. We all do.
I know. I really want to.
Lock it in. What are you going to do?
Okay, I'll agree.
You're going to agree?
I don't know.
What are you going to do?
I'll disagree.
You're going to disagree.
Yeah, everybody's giving me mixed signals.
Locked in?
Locked in.
And I had these.
Oh my God, doesn't have a brain.
Having anyway, they had to take the top of my head off a couple times. See if I had a
so
brain.
sad.
Is that even real? This is real life. I
That's
didn't
real.
hear that.
I haven't heard that either.
That's real. I mean, the funny part is they had to
Whoa.
take the top of my head off a couple times, see if I had a brain. But right before that, he almost goes into a medical diagnosis that nobody knows he had, and then stops and goes, oh, well, I mean, anyway.
It's also not really funny.
No.
If that was
the president.
if
Right.
that was your dad or your
Right.
loved one talking like that, that would be very serious.
Yes.
Oh
Correct.
man, but he's
You're
the
right.
president. He's the commander in chief.
Not making fun at all, but at the same time.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Wow.
I was diagnosed with
Alright.
having well, anyway, let me tell a joke. That's what that clip was.
Oh my
So
gosh.
do I get an X there? I don't know. I remember.
You do.
I'm in
You do.
shock with that.
You do.
I mean, I'm not really in shock, but I kind of am.
Yeah.
You know?
Anna, you were right on the verge right
I
there.
know.
Pulled back. Okay, here we go. We got just 2 squares left and no tic-tac-toes.
No, but I'm going to go with square number 4.
Can I interject with something that my former family member that I've just disavowed texted me? Do you know how old Jennifer Coolidge was when she played Stifler's mom in American Pie?
I'm going to say about 38.
Tell me.
I was going to say, was she 38?
She's freaking 38.
Yes! All
Oh
right.
my God.
There we go.
Yes!
So you are a cougar.
No.
And you're
How
a
is that
cougar.
possible?
It's okay. You're a cougar. It's not a bad
I
thing.
mean, I'm not a cougar.
You're a cougar.
Well, it is
just-
a bad thing. She's married.
You're flattering me like I have the capability to be a cougar, and I'm supposed to be like, oh, thank you. That's what's wrong with society.
Wait, do cougars have to be single?
No.
Well, yeah.
No.
If they're married, they're cheetahs.
Oh, my God.
Man, we will see
Rad.
ourselves
amazing.
out.
So,
All
yes.
right. Tip your waitress.
So on that note, I'm going to go with number 4.
38.
4.
So rude.
Annie, I'm going to go with my favorite Annie cougar over here.
How many Annie Cougars do you have?
Just you.
Of all the Annie Cougars, you're the best.
You are.
Okay, number 4.
That is so rude. 38 years old.
All right, here we go. They're having trouble booking a music act for the King's coronation. According to gossip news sites, a handful of popular British artists have been asked to play at King Charles's ceremony.
The King's coronation. I thought the King's coronation was like
A movie?
something. But you mean the coronation of the king.
The coronation of the king.
Oh, okay.
Yes, or the King's coronation.
You can totally trust my answer on this one.
All these artists have turned him down. Name any one of these artists who has reportedly turned down the King Charles coronation gig.
I have no idea. You two.
You too.
Oh man, you're wrong. you're wrong on that. You too.
I got nothing.
I know.
It's a good guess though.
I know a couple different Harry Styles turned down. You too. I'm gonna say you're wrong. You're wrong on you too.
Okay, you need to keep saying it until you convince yourself?
I think so.
Well, Hayes, you are in fact correct.
Yeah!
You too is
Nice.
not on that list. You are all right. Harry Styles
is, right?
is
Yeah.
on that list. Do you care to fill in the rest? Do you know any others?
I think
They've all turned down the King's coronation. It's unbelievable.
there was a lot on there. I mean, it went on. I just remember Harry Styles. Was Ed Sheeran on the bill? I don't know.
Harry Styles, Adele, Robbie Williams, the Spice Girls, Elton John, Kylie Minogue.
Elton
Yeah.
John. Yes.
All turned them down.
Crazy. Yeah, but you too. No.
You two, no.
So you two's
They weren't
good.
asked.
I
don't think they were asked.
Oh,
I'm still pissed
Is
because
that the right country? Is that the
Not-
right connection?
I don't think they're. I think they're from
Irish.
normal Ireland, not Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
So no.
Right. You're wrong.
My husband's laughing at me thinking about the geography that I do not understand.
Yeah. He's
right
also
now.
laughing that I just said normal Ireland.
I said that and I was like, ooh, I am unfamiliar with the term.
I'm just not Northern Ireland.
I'm still just mad that my iPhone back in the day had all those U2 songs that
Yeah.
were forced upon me.
Yeah, I'm still mad about that.
A tic-tac-toe through the middle of
Yeah.
the tic-tac-toe board for X's, which is Hayes.
That's me.
So we got one square left.
We
Yeah, I guess I'm choosing 2.
Yeah.
You are, and who's left on the board
Yeah,
here?
who's me? All right, Hannah.
Hannah, this is sound. So this is another sound AI clip from this week. Who said this?
I went home one day and I said,
Why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things.
I went home one day and said, "Why are conservatives bad, Mommy?" Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things.
Joe Biden.
It's a safe guess.
Yeah, common theme, Joe Biden. I'll run with it, sure.
Okay, Joe Biden.
It'd be a giveaway if it was his dad. Everybody about his dad.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay,
With
here's
great
who
confidence.
really said that.
I went home one day and I
Kamala.
said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things.
So funny.
Oh my God. It's like
Imagine remembering having that conversation with Mommy. That didn't happen. Stop it.
Why are conservatives bad, Mommy?
That is insane. And it was that laugh that was like the fake radio laugh, the like.
Yeah, we do it all the time in here.
Oh, it's yeah. Most people are always doing it to me. Yeah, then we just a lot of awkward silence where we go, now what are we supposed to do?
It's my favorite part of the show.
Yeah, you guys just play a song. We don't know what to do with that.
Yeah,
happens.
right. I get to laugh and be like, ha ha ha, song.
Yeah.
Ow.
We just sit here, stare at each other
Dead
on YouTube.
silence. Yes.
Hannah, give me a break.
I had to.
What is this?
Oh, man.
Yes.
Brian, you don't know this?
Is this Cougar something?
Isn't Jennifer Coolidge in this movie, this music video?
No, she's not.
She
actually,
isn't?
But it's an amazing. You don't know Stacy's mom?
Oh, we haven't gotten to the
Ryan.
chorus yet.
It has to say Stacey's
It's
mom.
already
for you
said
to
it.
know?
I
Stacey's.
don't know this song.
Oh,
Come
man.
on, music
All right.
guru.
Close game. Hayes and Anna, thank you for being in here. We appreciate it. We'll be back with a little more
Love
Annie
it.
Fry Show in just a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Shopping for jewelry is exciting, but it's also potentially a little intimidating if you're not 100% sure what you're looking for. Maybe it's a first big purchase that you're making, or maybe you've had a jeweler for a long time and for whatever reason you're looking for somebody else in the business that gives you the respect and the options and the ability to customize exactly the way that you want it to be done. That's the Diamond Shop in Clayton. Now, they've been around St. Louis since 1910. They're located in Clayton with one of the most beautiful stores you're ever going to walk into. You just walk in and you just feel the beauty all around you. You get a wonderful selection of different items, different rings, watches, jewelry, all of the things that you're looking for. You can walk in the store right now and see something beautiful that's fitting the need that you're trying to fill. But if there's something you want specifically, if there's something that you want redone into something else, they can customize jewelry for you, and they love the opportunity to take up that challenge. They have 6 months, same as cash as well. They do custom jewelry and watch repair, appraisals. They also buy gold. And right now, some of the most beautiful gems that they have just gotten back in from a trip that Tom here recently took. Go check them out for yourself. Find them online at thediamondshop.net.
How do you make every day more rewarding? You could write about your feelings. You could do sea turtle stuff. You could practice mindfulness. But how? Or you could just do what you already do with Upside. The free app that gives you real cash back wherever you roll. Like that restaurant that has those curly fries you love. Or grocery stores that have the freshest sushi. And gas stations placed perfectly on the route of your next road trip. Sometimes it's the little things. Get Upside and get cash back for doing you. Download the free Upside app and use promo code SUSHI for an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's promo code SUSHI for an extra $10 on the free Upside app. Get cash back for doing you with the free app from Upside.
Start your Amazon business.
Hey everyone, Ryan and Karen Pottinger here.
Because of the wholesale formula, last year we ran our business while we traveled to and lived in 4 different countries.
In 2020, Americans made $50 billion selling on Amazon. Join America's Amazon expert, Dylan Frost, where everyone can learn how to start an Amazon business for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. 2-hour seminar Tuesday, March 28th at 2 p.m. for the greater St. Louis area. Register at wholesaleformula.com. That's wholesaleformula.com.
MatchingDonors.com is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that links organ donors with people in desperate need of kidneys and other transplants. And now you don't need to donate a kidney to save a life. You can donate your boat, car, or real estate. Visit MatchingDonors.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to $7,500 on a new hybrid HVAC system and save an additional 20% when bundled with attic insulation. This is a limited time offer. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Friday afternoon, it's another Fish Fry Friday. We are live in Eureka at Most Sacred Heart Catholic Church for 3 hours. Come join us.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
What I like about you, you hold me tight. Tell me I'm the only one, wanna come over tonight.
Libby on YouTube is asking, what is a guy cougar? Serious question. I think just a predator.
I let Brad answer this question.
I'm going to agree with Annie.
Okay.
It's way more common for there to be a large age difference the other way around. So I don't know what that's called.
Probably, well, I don't know. Creepy.
What we've learned here, though, this week is that Stifler's mom was 38. Jennifer Coolidge was 38. And that has caused me some mental distress.
You gonna be okay?
No.
Well, what are you on a scale of 1 to 10 right now?
3.
That's not good.
38?
Did you ask Annie to rate herself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not my attractiveness.
Well, I didn't know what he was asking.
My mental stability and comfort.
Okay.
Everybody else knew that. Annie, how hot do you feel right now? I don't know, 3,
Scale
2?
of 1 to 10.
And he's like, oh, Annie, give yourself some credit. 4.5.
You're 38. Give yourself a break.
If somebody would have asked me how old Jennifer Coolidge was in that movie, I probably would have said 55. Which means that my high school, college age self visualized 38 to be 55. And I am inside dying.
Wow. You know what? She just kind of looked older at that age, though, which is why you see her in stuff now and you think, well, she looks about the same because she looked old at 38.
Everybody looked older 20 years ago.
Of course they did.
I mean, if you look at what 40, 50, and 60 and 70 even look like, everybody, when we were growing up, 70 looked the way 95 looks right now.
Oh, it's changed for sure.
It's ridiculous.
I think healthcare in general, we've advanced so far in medicine.
Plastic surgery.
And that too. And just care.
We got to talk about that real quick because we've got a few in-studio Ask Me Anythings to get to before we get to the results of today's YouTube poll. Which show member is the best athlete, Hannah, Brad, Ryan, or Annie? Of absolutely no consequence whatever. It's just a fun poll question. We have to do something, and I hope that we're getting to that already, where we get back to the place where we allow ourselves to age. Because the hitting the pause on the age button somewhere around 50 to 60, that's not a sustainable look. When you look at Hollywood, there's a way that people in Hollywood look. And I understand like Good Genes, Good Docs. I've seen those magazines a million times. But I think there has to be a better cultural embracing, Hannah, I'll ask you, of aging where we have to recognize and respect aging a little bit more than the idea that we can just not do it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. There is an unrealistic standard of what it looks like to grow older in today's society. Social media doesn't help anything ever. So I do feel like there's a lot of pressure on ageism. And it's really hard to tell how old people are.
For sure. And then you get up close and you're like, okay, I can tell that you are older than you appear to be. Anyway, you're ask me anything questions here real quick before
Yeah,
we break?
I had a quick question. Which Disney character do you most closely identify with?
Like which one resembles?
No, which one do you most closely identify with?
I would say
Ooh,
growing
that's
up.
kinda hard.
I would say growing up, like if people were like, "Oh, which is your favorite Disney princess?" I loved Belle because she was smart, and that's something that feminists really push back on right now, which is the idea that Belle is the feminist princess because they're like, "Oh, she read books," and like that's supposed to be some empowering woman thing. Does it not matter the time frame that film was set in? It was a time where women weren't there to read books. They were there to make babies and have families and take care of that's the whole Gaston thing. But I always liked Belle because she kind of was her own person. I love my favorite all-time Disney character, any place, anytime, anywhere, is Mary Poppins. And I've said this to you before, but if you haven't watched Mary Poppins in a while, go back and watch her be the sassiest woman who's
it's hilarious.
ever walked the face of the earth. I think that there's a theory out there that she's a witch. I don't buy into that. Who's yours?
You took mine.
Mary Poppins?
Mm-hmm.
She's your icon.
No, I would say either Gaston, clearly, or Pinocchio, because I'm a bad liar. Very bad liar. and all the other fun, witty, wooden nose references, wooden growing things that you're thinking of right now. That I don't know what you were going to say, but I'm just sort of filling in the blanks. Go, just say it. I opened the door. Just walk through it. Go ahead.
I am fleeing. No.
Talk about how I'm Gaston then. No? Man, you got something in your mind, and I really want to know what it is, you cougar.
Hannah.
I'm still getting familiar with Disney. I was a Nickelodeon kid by far, so I'm still getting familiar with Disney. I'm trying to study up before we go on our trip.
Were you iCarly?
No. No. The only person I can think of right now is Boo from Monsters, Inc. So
The kid? The human in the movie?
Yep.
We're going to Disney World as a show. This is going to be unbelievably ridiculous. May 6th, Saturday, and we're coming home Monday. It's a 3-day whirlwind of a trip. And Hannah says she doesn't want to know anything that we're doing, and she just wants to be surprised the whole time.
Yep.
And this is going to be the greatest 3 days of your life.
Yes, I'm
We're
excited.
going to live stream a lot of it, and then you're really going to want to tune in on Tuesday because we are
we're
going to
coming
be
in to do the show.
real tired. All of us.
Brad, which Disney character do you most align with?
Most closely, Mr. Incredible, but
I get that.
It's because like he's such a flawed character, but he overcomes that.
But he's incredible.
But he's incredible.
That was such a serious answer.
Yeah, I know.
You were talking
serious
about
not?
the weaknesses of his character and his integrity.
Yeah.
The rest of us are talking about wooden appendages.
The rest of us, or just
Nobody
you?
What do you
is
think she's
talking
thinking
about
right
that.
now? That's exactly what's going through her mind. She can't even show her face on camera. She's too embarrassed. Look at her. She's all bent over. I shouldn't have said that. Doggone it. There's still 2 minutes left of the show. What are we going to do
I'm
now?
gonna do the appropriate thing
probably
and talk about the YouTube poll so we don't lose our jobs. Okay, which
You think
show
that's going to save it?
No. No, we lost Hannah.
All right. Which show member is the best athlete? Hannah, Brad, Ryan, or Annie? I'm just going to give the results, and then if we have time, I'll read some comments. Annie wins the poll with 50%. Annie,
Sweet.
you are the best athlete on the Annie Fry Show.
Yeah, this is a scientific poll. Proves it.
You win a trophy.
We need
Everybody
to-
wins a trophy.
We need to have
Oh,
an
no.
Annie Fry Show Olympics.
I think we should.
Office Olympics? That'd be fun.
No.
Like real Olympics, like real pole vaulting is what you're saying.
I will make it happen if we can get a sponsor.
That sounds like a blast.
Ooh.
Okay.
How many events?
How many sponsors?
That's great.
An overall sponsor?
Gus kind of laid out which sport we would be the best at. Annie for basketball, Brad for baseball, Hannah for track, Ryan for football.
That says foosball.
That says foosball.
Oh, foosball.
Major difference. One letter.
I'm really good at running, jumping, and hiding.
Hiding?
So I think we
Why
should
do you
do
need to hide?
Olympics based on those events.
Hiding?
So parkour and hide and seek?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's
Not that confident in it.
Is that the tell?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I'm a bad liar. I told you.
Do you have any more comments?
169 votes. Which show member is the best athlete? Hannah, Brad, Ryan, or Annie. Annie with 50%, myself with 26%, Brad with 16%, Ryan with 8%.
Ryan with 8? I think I could school every one of you in any sport.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Yeah, that's right. I'm
Ryan.
throwing down the gauntlet with about 30 seconds
Your
left.
nose is growing there,
Fill
bud.
it in. No way.
Nose is growing.
If I was lying, I would be whispering because that's my tell.
No.
And I'm telling the
Please
truth.
don't.
That's it.
You
That's all
pick
we
the
got.
sport. You pick the sport. You pick the sponsor. I'm there for it.
Yeah, if there's anyone out there that wants to sponsor the Annie Fry Show Olympics, we will compete, maybe for a good cause too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could all have charities or something that we.
Cause is my good name.
Yeah, no, it's your pride, and I will fight against it. You really think you could beat us in most sports?
Maybe not boxing because you do it so much. So let's just cross that
Let's make
one
sure
out.
that's a main one. Mark Reardon at the Fish Fry up next.
To understand what makes Diamonds Direct so different than other jewelry stores, you have to go back 60 years when a diamond cutter in Israel